Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele, back in the clubhouse and tied atop the leaderboard with 8 under, and Paul Barjon sitting in third with 4 under. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown sports headlines. Welcome in to Cattles and Ramie.
Not the boring, generic milquetoast stuff coming from the network in Connecticut.
I describe him as the best, obviously.
Cattles.
He throws it out there, speaks his mind, that's cool.
And Ramie.
He's supposed to make people laugh. He's just an expert at it.
Cattles and Ramie. Live and local in the afternoon.
Sactown Sports.
So I'm a very plan-oriented kind of guy. And we had a clear plan of what this show was going to look like until about 1:30. And then Charania happened, and the entire show changed. Thanks for joining us, as always. It's much appreciated on this Thursday. It's Cattles and Ramie. Ramie heading down to Los Angeles. He should be in L.A. by now. He left early this morning, so he's out the rest of the week. Replacing Ramie for the rest of the week is JJ, my guy, of course, behind the glass. We've got Kyle. We've got Simone. And maybe today's message, as we saw this tweet from Charania, is the NBA offseason buckle up. Not just across the country, not just all NBA fans, but specifically Kings fans, you might want to buckle up. We've been talking about this, the idea that the Kings have $20 million plus in cap space. They can do some other things. They could get up to 23, 24 million by stretching Rashawn Holmes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The point is they got tens of millions of dollars to spend this summer, and not every team has that type of capability. As a matter of fact, not many do. You also have the chance to use the full mid-level exception. So we've been talking about free agency. We've been talking about spending money on Sasha Vezenkov. How would you replace Harrison Barnes? Maybe we should have been doing more talking about trades, because Charania just about 40 minutes ago or so tweeted out something that was fascinating. Here's the tweet from Shams. Another team that's had Bradley Beal trade talks with the Wizards, the Kings. Sources tell me and Sam Amick. It's believed Beal would consider Sacramento given his no trade clause, but right now there does not appear to be a clear pathway for the two sides. So, JJ, let's just say, theoretically.
Oh, I'm saying it, Nick.
Because you can put a deal together. You can do it. Would you be in or out on Bradley Beal?
Completely in.
Completely in.
Not even a question. I'm not thinking twice. This is somebody that's been on my wish list for a couple of years, Nick. I think he's a borderline. Here we go with the list and rankings. It's summertime, Nick, right? So I'm going to fall in line if you don't mind.
It's list season.
He's a borderline top 30 guy when everything is clicking, right?
Right.
When everything's clicking for him, when he's when he's doing what he's supposed to do, he's completely healthy. He's a top 30 guy in my mind. He's another playmaker. He can create his own shot. It's not even in question. I'll leave it right there first. I'm all in. And yourself?
All in. I'm not all in.
Oh, okay. All right. I figure you were, so I kept some things back just in case.
I would stay away from the vehicle here. A couple of things. Yes, Bradley Beal, there's no doubt, is a top 30-ish player in the NBA when he has it all clicking, as you said, JJ. The issue, number one for me, is he has not had it all clicking the last couple of years. Now, the question about why he hadn't had it going the last 2 years, I think, is the heart of the issue.
Yes.
Is it because Bradley Beal is a player in decline, or is it because Bradley Beal, not the greatest fit with Porzingis and maybe some other players on that team, and also Bradley Beal, who at one point was an ultra-competitive cat, might have grown tired of losing in Washington, and so maybe, just maybe, we have not seen full throttle Bradley Beal in like 3 years.
Yes, I'm glad you said that, because that's one of my positives, is the fact that I know he has something to prove, or I believe, I should say. I want to say so matter-of-factly. I believe he has something to prove. I know that he's made a big deal over the last few years of being off, all-star teams. He's made a lot of fuss about talking about rankings and lists not being where he thought he should be throughout the years. So that lets me know, in the words of Kendrick Perkins, Nick, he wants to smoke. Something that I think the Kings desperately need. And he's respected throughout the league. So I'll bounce I'll bounce that first thing right back off you.
Yeah, look, it could be possible. Again, you never know. You never know how much this is on the player, how much it's on the organization, how much he just got so sick and tired of dealing with Washington. There were so many changes with that organization. Yep. It has been one of the worst run teams in the last few years. So maybe it was just a fatigue factor, JJ. And maybe if you bring him in here to Sacramento, if that did happen, maybe you get the best out of Bradley because he's in a winning environment. He's with the right culture. He's with the right coaching staff. All of those things, a passionate fan base. Yep. Maybe he jumps all in and he is as good as he was 3 years ago. Maybe. The other part is, what do you have to give up? See, okay, I don't think you have the pieces in part to try to match some salaries, but I tweeted this yesterday. The easiest path, and maybe possibly the only path as far as money goes, is if you decided to trade one of Fox or Domas. Mm-hmm. If that's part of this trade, then I'm out because I don't want it. You're adding Beal, but you're losing one of the two other guys. How much better are you with Fox and Beal than Fox and Domas? How much better are you with Domas and Beal than Domas and Fox? True, very true. I should make the caveat here, Nick, that yes, I want Bradley Beal to coincide with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. If I have to give up one of those two people, and here I go playing fantasy GM, I don't want to look at the numbers. I don't want to look at, how my cap fits. I just want to tell Vivek and the group, open up the pocketbook. Let's make it make sense, right? And let's go after a championship. Right. But I'll tell you the reason why I really like Bradley Beal. A couple things is he's a playmaker. We know he can do something. He can do it with the ball in his hand. He can create a shot. It's not even in question. He takes the pressure off De'Aaron Fox very, very easy. That's something that a lot of people around here have asked for a few times this season, to see De'Aaron play off the ball a little bit. We've even heard a little bit of mix and match with Davion, Malik Monk, the Kentucky power punch. Malik Monk and De'Aaron both play, but together, Bill allows that when needed. And this other thing, too, is remember who's coaching the Kings, Nick? Mike Brown, right? Yes. He stems from the Warriors tree, so to say, as of late. And what do the Warriors do normally? And I thought about this when you put this in our prep channel today, is when Clay was right, Steve Kerr staggered the backcourt. And I say that especially before Clay's injuries, you would see Clay go out 7-8 minute mark in the first quarter. Curry would run out the rest of the first quarter. And then that very next second quarter, Curry would be on the bench, right, and Clay would come up. Yep. I think that allows, if Bill is in a Kings uniform, it allows Mike Brown to do the same thing, and stagger those guys. And for me, looking at what Bradley Beal does fantastically, he's a perfect fit with Domas. And that's kind of coincides with what you're saying. It's true. It has to come with Domas. It's a perfect complement to what Domas does best, and that's pass, right? And Bradley Beal, high 30s, 3-point percentage. We can rattle off the numbers. I had to go look at some of the things. I didn't know he shot that well from the floor. He is almost a 50% from the floor scorer. That's crazy. Efficient kind of guy. He's definitely efficient. Yeah. And so I just think, in a perfect world, it looks fantastic. Now, if you're asking me to be realistic, which I think that's what you're saying is, yeah, if we have to give up De'Aaron or Domas, then it doesn't make sense. Because if you don't give up one of those two guys, here's the other part of this. You're talking about huge, and I mean humongous, salary cap implications moving forward. Not just this coming year, but especially with the new CBA. True. If you added Domas to Fox, Beal, that three, or added Beal to Fox and Domas, if you had those three guys on your roster, Domas is looking for an extension here in the next year or so. If you wanted to keep these three guys, it's these three guys and whomever else, because you're looking at, Beal's 40+ million, Fox is on a max, Domas will be looking for a max. You're talking about $120+ million for those three guys. Mm-hmm. And with the new salary cap and the new CBA, it'll be very difficult to put a team together along with those guys. So you have to be, and I'm not saying they wouldn't be, but you have to believe in this idea that Fox, Beal, and Domas would give you a spectacular chance at winning the title, not 2, 3, 4 years down the road, but this is a win now, go for it move.
Yep.
And then you could kind of figure out what your salary cap implications are 2 years down the road when you have to make some decisions. So that's another issue to me, is that the salary cap numbers would be so outrageous and the balance would be so off. You would eventually have to try to, bring in Keegan on an extension. Could you do that with these guys making as much money as they would be making? Kevin Huerter would probably have to go. Some other guys would have to go. So there's a lot of different things that would have to happen to allow these three to be on the same team. And I just, with that threesome, I think you're going to need some depth and some more talent to back them up. So I don't think it's a smart move for really any NBA team to be putting 3 max deals on the same roster moving forward. I just think it's bad business, and it ties your hands, and it could have you hitting the reset button in 18 months.
I agree. And it's super interesting in the fact of this, Nick, is I think the NBA, and you and Ramie have talked about this over the last couple of weeks, the NBA is so wide open. I think you have teams thinking about how could we match the Denver Nuggets. If the Denver Nuggets are the champions of the world, quite frankly, as great as they looked, I can make a case where it's like, I could see them being beat by someone, right? And that's the thing is if they would have played Boston, I probably would have took Boston over Denver. I know that hurt your heart a little bit. Giannis wasn't right. Philadelphia seemed to crumble at the end. The Warriors, I've said this for me, and we'll talk about this a little later. If the Kings would have beat the Warriors, I believe they would have beat the Lakers, which then would have matched up with the Nuggets. I don't think they would have beat the Nuggets because the Nuggets just look better. Bruce Brown, Michael Porter Jr., their supporting staff, KCP, they just have a better all-around team. But I'm also looking at it from the standpoint of they're a team that's gettable. I think I can go and achieve beating them next year, and I'm not really scared of anyone on that. For me, if I know I have De'Aaron Fox, and I know I have Domas.
Yeah.
The only person I really fear on that roster is Jokic. And I'm also looking at it, and I'm going to De'Aaron and say, listen, I need you to be just as good against Jamal Murray. You have to equal him out. And if not, outplay him. And now we're looking at the rest of the team. So I think that plays a part of it. And again, the NBA is so wide open. It's kind of that old question, that old argument. Do you play for a championship or do you play for 3-4 years down the road?
Right.
And I think you tend to play for, look, I want to be flexible at all points in time. As you started this show saying, look, I like to be very calculated.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't think some GMs play that way.
All right, your thoughts. Jay's in. I'm out on Bradley Beal. If they could put this together, 916-339-1140 is the text line. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. Of course, you are always welcomed in to the YouTube world, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. In or out on Bradley Beal, the idea of bringing Beal here to Sacramento. We'll get to your reaction. Also coming up in 90 seconds, is all hope lost for the A's to remain in Oakland?
The 123rd U.S. Open Golf Championship takes place at the Los Angeles Country Club, and Sactown Sports has you covered.
The U.S. Open, the tournament that I'd like to win, after having so many good opportunities.
Tune in from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursday, June 15th and Friday, June 16th for leaderboard updates and analysis.
Sactown Sports coverage of the U.S. Open is brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. It's Ram season, Chad. What's going on at Hoblet?
We have some of the biggest savings of the year on new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s with over $11,000 off MSRP. Or if you're worried about interest rates going up, save $6,000 off MSRP plus get financing as low as 2.9% for 72 months. And remember, Hoblet is California's #1 Ram truck dealer and has the best selection and deals on HD Rams too.
Hey, that's some pretty great savings, but why drive all the way to Hoblet?
We have no surprise fees, add-ons, or dealer markups, just savings. One of the many reasons we received the Walter P. Chrysler Award for outstanding customer service for 3 years in a row now. Plus, with Hoblet's Peace of Mind guarantee, you can buy with confidence.
Stop by their Hoblet Ram Truck Center for a test drive today, or search, select, and save through the whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
11,000 total net savings after 5091 factory rebates and 6,000 dealer discounts. 5091 factory rebates in lieu of 2.9% APR for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Must have 700 plus FICO score to qualify. 1516 per thousand borrowed. 5 at each net savings. Sample VIN 622619.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
And Ramie.
on Sactown Sports.
All right, we'll get to the A's in a couple of minutes, but we got to get to your reaction here on this Bradley Beal idea first. Are you in or out on that? YouTube chat, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. We're talking about this, I should mention, because Charania tweeted about an hour or so ago that the Kings have at least discussed Bradley Beal with the Wizards. Shams did say that it doesn't look like there's a path to make this deal, and I think that's because you would likely have to give up one of Fox and Domas, and that just doesn't make much sense. But Dwayne Baker says no way on Beal. The Kings have a 6'7" shooting guard now who can shoot better than most and is a better defender every day. Don't want him taking shots from the guys we have now, and that is a small backcourt.
That's one of my issues, Nick, and we're going to talk about this at the top of next hour. Kevin Huerter's not that guy that a lot of Kings fans believe he is. And you really, if you think Kevin Huerter's better than Bradley Beal, you need to sit back and watch some more film. That's serious.
And he would be the only one of their 6 best players they'd have to trade.
That's not money-wise, I get it, but for me, that's not me. I'm taking Bradley Beal every day.
I don't know how you could feel great about Huerter after the playoff series. I like him. I like Kevin Huerter, but I don't know how you can look at him and say, yeah, we're gonna stand by that guy. I think Huerter is one of those dudes that would be tradable, certainly off this roster. I look at Davion Mitchell. I look at Kevin Huerter as the top 2 assets because I don't think you're going to trade Keegan Murray.
Nope.
So those 2 guys are your top assets. Cam Cruz, YouTube. It ain't going to work. Keep it moving.
I hear it.
The real Cheech, $40+ million and no defense. Pass.
There's a lot of guys making $40 million, though, that's playing no D.
You know, Bradley Beal did at one point show that he could play some defense. And that's one of those, you know, big-time question marks about who Bradley Beal truly is. Is he the guy, as we talked about last segment, JJ,
right,
is he the guy that we've seen the last 2-3 years in Washington? A nothing franchise for all intents and purposes. Did he just get tired of it?
Mm-hmm.
He got his big fat money, his big fat extension. So he kind of just rode it out in Washington until he got the money, which is smart on his part, business-wise. And now that he got the money, he wants out. And, you know, if you're acquiring Beal, whoever it's going to be that acquires him, you're believing in the thought that he's reinvigorated and he's ready to jump into the pool and I don't want to say dominate, that might be a stretch, but give you that all-star level play.
True. I'm 100% with you. I think it's a great point that you made, a few minutes ago in the fact of you really need to go back and look Bradley Beal at the peak and what he was doing. And do you believe that he wants to do that again? He believes he can do that again. And the other part of it, too, is Washington put a lot of pressure on him to be the number one. If he would come to Sacramento, he wouldn't have to be the number one, which allows him to play a little loose and a little free, kind of a la John Wall. And the most success he ever had was when he really wasn't asked to be a number one. He was a number 2. And that's the same thing. For me, it comes down to the fact of
he's a great fit basketball-wise.
Fantastic. Is just what you proposed a great question, Nick. And that's probably what we need to ride with for the rest of the day. Do you believe in the fact that he wants to be great again, so to say? I don't want to say great because he could believe he's still great, but is he going to be able to put up the great and fantastic all-star numbers that he has?
Another YouTube post here from Campello Silva says, Beal is too much money. Too much would to be given up for him. So too much as far as trade assets, too much money as well, according to C. Silva there on YouTube. So look, it's a very, very interesting theoretical of having Beal on this team. I think it's a really good fit. I actually, if you questioned me on whether or not I feel like Beal is done, I don't think Beal's done. I think he still has some really good basketball left in him. And I look back at his days in college. I look back at his early days in Washington. I look back at when, Washington was not necessarily a contender, but a playoff team. He was a competitive guy. And coming into a spot like a Sacramento or a Miami or a Philly or a Boston, all the teams we've heard, going into one of those situations, I think will kind of give him some reinvigoration to his career, and you'll see a better Bradley Beal.
You know what, Nick, real quick, and this is something that I've heard 3 or 4 times already across the YouTube and the text line, and you mentioned the new cap space. $40 million, it sounds crazy. It really sounds, and just to hear me out.
Yeah.
$40 million in the NBA, there's a lot of mid dudes getting ready to get that. It's here. It's that. Have you ever just, and I know you have, but I'm talking to some of the people listening. Have you just ever sat back and paid attention to what certain people are making? It's crazy.
It is insane. We went through that whole Hollinger projections, and it's like some of those guys.
For reference, Bradley Beal would be making 34% of the Wizards' salary cap next year.
That's the Wizards. He's supposed to. Matter of fact, you should be making at least 5% of the Wizards cap next year, Kyle. They're looking for talent right now.
They
brother.
stink.
Yes.
So you look at, Fox, he's set to make 32.6 this coming year. Bradley Beal set to make 46.7. So we're talking about $80 million between those two guys. Domas is set to make 19.4. So you're at about $100 million between the three this coming season.
Right.
But then you've got to deal with the Domas extension, which is why I said you're probably looking at around $120 million on your cap. And with the new CBA, that would be rough to build a team. Quickly, I do just want to update you on the Oakland A situation. So the Nevada State legislature passed the $380 million public funding towards the stadium. That happened yesterday. I'm not sure. Look, the next steps are that they go to the governor. The governor, I think, will sign off on this. He's not going to undermine his legislation.
Yeah.
And then the owners have to vote on it. The only question is whether or not the owners are going to try to grab money from the A's for relocation fee, which they could. I don't think they're going to, though. Major League Baseball wants this to happen as bad as John Fisher does. To me, hope is gone. This thing's a wrap, JJ.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have it right here in my notes. It's a wrap, my brother. Christmas gift. You can go ahead and put that under the tree. It's the fourth quarter, man. Game 7. Dave Cavill and John Fisher, they're up double digits on us right now, and it's the fourth, man. We're on a uphill swing when it comes to trying to keep the A's here, and I say we because I am a lifelong Oakland A's fan. But I will say this. We are sitting right in the very city where we probably could have said the same thing. The Kings were right there. It was pretty much all over. The only thing that there is a difference is, and this is the main thing, is the Malou family at that point in time needed finances because they had sunk so much money into the Palms. It wasn't, that wasn't a secret. John Fisher doesn't. He inherited his money. He didn't work for his money. He's been given pretty much everything. If you look at his biography, now I'm not saying to day-to-day this man ain't got up and went to school and earned a college degree. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he was born into a lot of finance. He didn't have to work if he didn't choose to. Yeah. Right. And that's the difference. And that's why we continue to keep on seeing the same situation is in reality, John Fisher didn't need this to hurry up. He slow played it like a game of poker. And because he is financially set and settled, he's just going to sit back and watch this happen, brother. I'm with you, Nick, man. I hate to see it. And, it breaks my heart to take away the only team that I've ever loved. I think it's over.
It's cooked. It's glazed.
Yeah.
It's finished.
Yeah.
It's donezo.
Almost just got to slice it.
That's it. Just got to slice it.
Gotta believe. Gotta believe. There's a chance, right? No.
916-339-1140 is the text line. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. Don't forget, more content, what you're looking for about this Bradley Beal conversation and a lot of other stuff, including A stuff. Sactownsports.com is the website. We'll continue with your reaction on Bradley Beal. Are you in or out on that idea? Also, it sounds like Golden State is going to run it back. Is that a mistake? We'll give you our answers next.
The Kings season might be over, but Sactown sports coverage never stops.
I feel like we grew a lot during this playoff series with our defense, and if we can sustain that during the year, that's going to help us a lot.
Stay tuned all off-season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
O'Reilly. Win the battle against rust and corrosion with PB Blaster at O'Reilly Auto Parts. PB Blaster quickly busts loose rusted, corroded, or frozen parts. PB Blaster is great for everything from bolts to frozen locks. Right now, pick up an 11-ounce bottle of PB Blaster for just $6.99, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air in a public place in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using STEM mosquito repellent is the right way. STEM effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Hey, Jess, want to come for a ride on my motorcycle? You know, we can talk about our feelings and explore our emotional compatibility.
I thought you'd never ask.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive, and you could use the savings to make sure the motorcycle is always ready for your dream girl. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
Hey, kids, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friends at Fire Wings, the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. A great place to enjoy all the ball games from all around the country with 21 delicious flavors to choose from. Bone in, bone out. For more convenience, order online. Go to firewings.com. Find a location near you. Grab that order online and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Fire Wings. Hey, just wing it.
Greetings from M&S Auto on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. And a big thanks to our repeat customers for letting us be your favorite car dealer. Repeat customers make us proud. M&S customers know that they're going to find the car, 4x4, or SUV they want. They'll get treated like family and save thousands. Whether you're a repeat customer or a first-time buyer, welcome. M&S Auto, the intelligent car buying experience. MSAutogroup.com.
The Gold Rush Classic, where the stars and guitars shine. The Gold Rush Classic is a celebrity pro-am golf tournament, a $1 million hole-in-one contest, a skins game, a celebrity draft party, and a concert featuring the Atlanta Rhythm Section. The Gold Rush Classic raises money for Make-A-Wish, Jordan's Guardian Angels, First Tee of Sacramento, Rancho Murrieta Youth Sports, and other worthwhile children's charities. The Gold Rush Classic takes place July 13th and 14th in Rancho Murrieta. Come join the fun, raise money for charity, and play golf with a celebrity like Barnes, Fernandez, Jackson, Lloyd, Merriweather, Ostertag, or our own Greg Vaughn. Sponsorships are available at goldrushclassic.org. The Gold Rush Classic is sponsored by Chase Armor at Planned Solutions and Folsom Lake Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. The Gold Rush Classic, where the stars and guitars shine.
When the world's best players get fitted for new golf clubs, they want to see their ball flight outdoors. Why should you settle for any less? The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is the area's unquestioned leader in delivering a new age of golf club fitting to Northern California. With 14 trained, skilled professionals to show you how to hit the ball farther and straighter, satisfied customers have increased their yardage, improved their games, and gained confidence. Call 916-808-2531 to get started. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Hey guys, did you know June is Men's Health Month? Prioritize your health and address those issues you've been ignoring. Revive Men's Health Sacramento has guaranteed low T and ED solutions. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. And find out how you can get a free 1-month supply of custom ED medication. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com today.
Sactown Sports.
I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. Could Wizards All-Star Bradley Beal be dealt to the Sacramento Kings? Charania and Amick of The Athletic highlighted this enticing speculation this afternoon. Head to SactownSports.com right now for more information. Mirroring the very rules of baseball itself, Oakland Athletics are essentially one strike away from relocation. The disheartening count revealed itself yesterday after Nevada legislature jointly approved public funding for the Las Vegas Stadium deal to uproot the A's out of Oakland. Tampa Bay Rays beat Oakland 6-3 on Wednesday night, snapping the A's 7-game winning streak. Finally, the 123rd U.S. Open is underway at the Los Angeles Country Club. Your live leaderboard standings are provided, of course, by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele back in the clubhouse and tied atop the leaderboard with 8 under, while Scheffler, DeChambeau, Kim, and Barjan all tied in third and done with the day with 3 under. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie.
One brings Makloff magic, while the other, we're still trying to figure that out.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
We'll get to this idea of the Warriors running it back in just a few minutes. Also want to let you know, Michael Scotto will be joining us.
Oh, I got to hit him with a 15-minute heads up there.
In about 14 minutes. So, yeah, let him know. 14 minutes, synchronized swatches. We got Michael Scotto from Hoops Hype joining us. Should be fun. But before we get to the Warriors possibly running it back and whether or not JJ is a fan of that idea for that organization, still more reaction to this Bradley Beal conversation we've had. If you missed it, if you're just joining us, Charania, couple of hours ago or so, tweeted out that the Kings had discussed Bradley Beal with the Wizards. He did say right now there does not appear a clear pathway for the two sides. It's interesting he says right now. He doesn't say blanketly there's no clear path. He says that right now, which makes you wonder, hey, if you bring in a third team, if you make a trade and then you maybe open up some space, maybe you kind of go back to this talk. So it's still open there with Sham saying right now there doesn't appear to be a clear path. Doesn't necessarily mean that everything is over here. The text line, 916-339-1140. The team has played one season. In all caps, JJ, one season together. Can we stop even contemplating trading any of the 1 to 7 for a gamble?
My goodness, man. You can see there still needs to be a tweak or two. Can we all agree on that?
I totally agree.
Okay.
100%.
All right. Well, I guess that texter, YouTuber, they don't believe that. They believe that, one season, as you said, all caps, one season, numero uno, season 2 will be better. Now, okay.
It's like they're screaming at me when it's all caps.
Sounds like they're in favor of bringing back Harrison Barnes.
They want to run it back, and I don't think that's the thing to do. And obviously, Monty doesn't think it's the thing to do. And by the way, don't be yelling at us. It's not just us who think this team needs an upgrade. It's rather obvious that Monty and company believe they need an upgrade because they're talking about Bradley Beal.
Having conversations.
They don't pick up the phone if they're cool with 1 through 7 right now.
Don't flirt.
They ain't cool with it.
That's right. Keep your eyes to yourself.
Yeah, keep your eyes to yourself. I bled purple on Twitter at Nick C Radio. I think it is possible, talking about this Beal deal. Mitchell, Herter, Holmes, and 2 firsts. Barnes on a sign and trade to a third team. Look, if you're going to keep Domas and Fox, it's possible, but there's roughly 7 steps that you have to get through to create the scenario where you can get Beal without dealing one of those 2 guys. And I just think at the end of the day, it's a too unrealistic path. Might be wrong. Could be wrong. If you could get Fox and Domas to stay here while trading for Bradley Beal, I make that deal right now. I would make that deal. Even if I had to go through all of the cap machinations over the next few years, I'm going to give it a run this year. I'm going to give it a run this year with 3 guys that could arguably be top 30 in the league. I'm going to give it a shot because I don't know if you're going to have another option to go out and get a top 30 guy. This might be your only shot. You got Domas. You get Beal. It's not easy to acquire a top 25, top 30 dude in the league.
Truth. And you're working on Keegan's rookie deal.
Yes.
So you have, 3 or 4 more years.
Yes.
Of course, with the option to be picked up as well. So, I mean, if that's your top 4, I'm happy.
It's pretty good top 4.
Yeah.
Benjamin in the YouTube, out on Beal, no thanks. Willie Bowen, our guy Willie.
Trading tonight, Willie.
Trading for Beal will only cause dissension. I don't know about that. I think Beal's a team guy. Beeman, you would have to give up assets and pay his terrible contract. I don't think what he would provide for this team would outweigh what you would be giving up to bring him in. So Beeman is a no on that as well. Let's go to Bo. Bo's up on the phones. What's up, Bo?
Me on.
How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. Just in traffic right now, but that's not why I called. Just wanted to share my thoughts on this, and I agree with most of the texts and the callers, or I'm the only caller, but everyone's saying from a basketball fit, it's going to be kind of tough. So I feel like you're going to have to give up Monk, Herter, and Murray, and then you're going to get rid of that bench scoring. But I think the real reason why the Kings even have this out here is to create good publicity for them, right? We heard the stuff going on in ESPN, just getting the name out there. Bradley Beal even willing to waive his no-trade clause to come to the Kings. Last year, construction wouldn't be happening. So I feel like the front organization is kind of planting the seed saying, hey, look at this. We can get a star like Bradley Beal for maybe a future move, maybe next year or 2 years from now, be able to put all the chips in the middle of the table for a really big star.
All right, thanks. I appreciate the phone call, Bo. So Bo says, hang out of those assets, see what happens over the next couple of years. And to Bo's point, there could be the argument. By the way, we'll push the Warriors. We're talking Bradley Beal here with you and the Kings. We'll push the Warriors, maybe not get to them today.
Yeah, push them.
Making the executive decision on the fly. But there is the argument, JJ, because of the new CBA, teams might be looking. I'll give you the perfect example where I grew up, right? The Celtics with Brown and Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Brown is going to get that Supermax, I think. If he signs that Supermax this offseason, that's going to give the Celtics a 2-year window. Then they have to make a decision because Tatum and Brown would account for more than $100 million on that cap.
Right.
You'd have 2 Supermax players, which is detrimental to the rest of your roster building. So you might be looking at Jaylen Brown available in 18 months to 2 years. It's just, do you wait for something to develop or do you strike right now when you know Bradley Beal's available?
Yeah.
That's the biggest question.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the PR stunt from the situation of what Bo called, though. I like the positive reinforcement that the Kings, if that is true, the organization is letting people know, look, we in it to win it. We're trying to, make moves, and we're a team to be reckoned with. And I'm with all of that. I appreciate the fact that if they did leak this out in some form or fashion, that they're at least, open to play ball and they're looking to take the necessary steps to be, a champion.
All right, let's go to Ray. Ray's next up on the phone. Hey, Ray, what's up? Hello?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. Hey, so I don't even know who Bradley Beal is. I really don't. And I'm a hardcore NBA fan. I guess he plays for the Wizards. I don't know who the Wizards are. The Wizards are they're not successful. They don't make the playoffs. So total waste of time. I want to go with. I'd like to have Kuminga because I know he's won a world championship. He's played for Mike Brown. He knows the expectations. And you know what? And if that takes a couple first-round picks, then so be it. But I want a guy that has experience and that has upside. He's young. Kuminga's 20 years old, and he's extremely athletic. And I think we don't. The Kings, we're not very athletic down low, and so I think he could really help us.
All right, Ray. Thanks for the phone call. Your thoughts on Jonathan Kuminga, JJ?
I'm in on it, but let me take a step back real quick, and this is my issue with fandom. Here we go. Didn't he just explain what the Kings were for the last 16 years? No good. Nobody cared. Didn't even know who we were in the NBA. Man, come on, stop playing yourself. Like we got to be honest and real. Here we go again. And Jay's always the negative one of the Cattles and Ramie show. Like I'm becoming that, that person now. But he just
win for hate of the year.
He just explained the Kings though, didn't he, Nick? You are born and raised on the East Coast.
Yep.
You are more. I've worked with hundreds and thousands of people. You were tied into sports as just a tier one. You were one of the guys.
I have no life.
You know what I mean?
Say it. Yeah.
But my thing is this. Were you looking at the Kings as somebody over the last 10, 12, before you came here?
No.
How did you look at the Kings?
No, I didn't watch them.
How did the people on the East Coast look at the Kings?
Non-fact.
The same thing that Ray just said, correct, about the Wizards.
Yes, there was one season where I paid special attention to the Kings, and that's when the Celtics had their first-round pick, and the Kings actually played fairly well.
There we go.
And the pick didn't work out, which angered me.
Come on. And then weren't Kings fans just crying about De'Aaron Fox respect over the last 3 years?
They were.
Okay, I'm just saying. Look yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself, Ray. Come on now. I don't know who you fooling out here, brother. You're not fooling the Cattles and Ramie show, sir. You definitely ain't fooling Nick, and I know you ain't pulling the blind one over Jay. Stop it.
All right. Does Beal to Sacramento make sense? Michael Scotto will join us and answer that and more next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Summer's here, and the deals are heating up at Fasteners Tool Outlet. You'll find scorching deals next Saturday on Makita Tools. Get 2 free batteries with the purchase of a circular saw kit and get $50 off any 40-volt tool kit. Fasteners Tool Outlet is turning up the heat on Makita Summer Savings next Saturday. Buy a 2-piece combo kit and get 2 extra free batteries. Come into Fasteners Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road, or on the web at fastenersinc.net.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Inflation has pushed up the cost of just about everything, which means if you bought life insurance a few years ago, it might not be enough to protect your family today. Now is the time to get the insurance you need at a price you can afford. In a hurry? Don't worry. Call Select Quote now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's right. You can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam in under an hour.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-613-8990. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources today. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
O'Reilly. Win the battle against rust and corrosion with PB Blaster at O'Reilly Auto Parts. PB Blaster quickly busts loose rusted, corroded, or frozen parts. PB Blaster is great for everything from bolts to frozen locks. Right now, pick up an 11-ounce bottle of PB Blaster for just $6.99, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air in a public place in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using Stem mosquito repellent is the right way. Stem effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
And Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
Certainly a more interesting Thursday than we had anticipated, thanks to Charania today. Tweeting out that the Kings have been discussing Bradley Beal with the Wizards. So that got our attention. Now getting our attention is our friend Michael Scotto.
That's my guy, man.
NBA insider for Hoops Hype, reporter for USA Today. He joins us right now on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Of course, Michael, you are with Cattles and Ramie. No Ramie today. JJ in for Ramie on this Thursday. We thank you and appreciate you for your time. Let's first start off with this Charania report that the Kings have talked to Washington about Bradley Beal. Just your thoughts on the idea of the Kings giving Washington that phone call.
Due diligence, gentlemen. I think you have to. If you're Sacramento, you had a great season last year, defied a lot of expectations. I think if you can add a third guy that has all-star potential around De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, you got to look at it. Certainly a guy like Keegan Murray will draw interest around the league. And they've got a plethora of guards that they could theoretically try to consolidate. But, with that said, that Bradley Beal contract is massive. And with the new CBA coming up, some view that as a potential deterrent to having more than just interest in acquiring a guy and really going for it. It's a lot of money coming up that would really hamstring your franchise. You've got to be sure that he's the missing piece you need to be a championship contender. And I think that's why you see a little bit more talk of the Miami Heat, for example, who were just in the finals. And they've got a bunch of guys coming up for, free agency, and they're going to have to make some decisions as well. And maybe consolidating for them would make more sense because they've been able to develop guys on the cheap. And a lot of, as we heard all throughout the finals, they had a lot of undrafted guys that contributed well for them. So I think that's the difference maybe between those two teams, for example, like Sacramento and Miami.
Michael, man, you've been around her for quite a bit of time. I've been of course, huge fan, known you for a while. And it seems like as long as I've known you, we've heard Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard's name be tossed around as someone that could be on the move. I'm going to throw in Dame Dollar in there for you as well. And you talked about the new CBA and the massive deal. What's your thoughts on Dame being moved?
You know what the difference with Dame is? He's a top 75 player all time, at least, voted wise, and he's still in the prime of his career. He looked great last year when he played. Dame has inherently more value than Bradley Beal. The thing about Dame is he's a closer, man. He's a clutch scorer in the fourth quarter. Has a big following. He's a guy that is a loyal guy to an organization. So I could see a lot of teams certainly circling the wagon on him. Obviously, depending on what Portland does with the third pick. If the draft shakes out the way it's kind of looking like right now and they end up with Scoot Henderson at 3, well, that's kind of your point guard of the future there. And it would raise some eyebrows, I think, because if you're Damian Lillard and you share the backcourt with Scoot Henderson and you also have Anthony Simons and you got to re-sign Jeremy Grant, is Nurk the guy you want to have as your center as well, looking ahead? Like, they've got a lot of decisions to figure out, and I just feel like theoretically on paper, a guy like Brandon Miller maybe would fit better on paper. But again, Dame's trying to win now. He's 32. It's not to say he's old, but he's not a spring chicken either. So you got to balance that. And if he really wants to compete, it just reminds me of like when the Knicks had Carmelo at the end of his run and during the Phil Jackson era. It's like, they did these moves like Joakim Noah and then Derrick Rose, and they were better on paper, but they weren't going to be a contender. So that's kind of where I feel like Portland is right now. And I'm curious how Dame, would feel about that. If Portland took Scoot Henderson, you got to wonder if you're Dame and people around the league, what that would signal long term. Again, they've not said that they want to move him. He's their franchise guy, but actions speak louder than words.
Michael, you just mentioned the new CBA coming in next year, and I've been talking about how that's going to affect teams with these guys on max deals. If you got multiple guys on max deals, with the new CBA kicking in truly next summer, do you think that'll create urgency and moves this summer so teams get their books in line, so to speak?
Yes, I do. I think you have to. And the other thing I would say is I think these teams that have a lot of star, top-heavy rosters are going to be more focused on the draft than they've been in the past because they need guys on rookie-scale contracts
that
you can fit in and minimum guys. So what better way to do that than through the draft? I mean, you saw that with the Denver-Oklahoma City trade, for example.
Here with Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype. Mike, man, you in the BK, brother, in Brooklyn. So you get to see Cam Johnson on the daily. And for me, he's not as high as I think other people have him throughout the league. You get to see him operate on a daily basis. Does he really fit the mold of the 3-and-D guy? And how high is he on the top of your list, brother?
I think for Cam, look, he's a stretch four to me, the way Brooklyn played him. I know some teams feel they could put him on the 3 as a wing. I certainly think if he's your 3, it might be a little better because he's not a rugged rebounder, I would say. He's going to stretch the floor for you and be efficient. He's a good high IQ player. Showed a little bit more off the dribble stuff with the Nets, but I think he's a fine starting caliber rotation guy that you can have on your team. I do think he's in line to get $20+ million a year in free agency. I reported on Hoops Hype. I've talked to, I think it was about 5 executives that projected him to be around the 4-year, $90 million range. So, that I could see that. You're talking about $22.5 million a year. But you got to remember, Jay, with cap going up, think of that as like, I don't know, high teens money. When you extrapolate that. So that's the thing I think people have to consider going forward when they start seeing some of these new deals coming out.
Michael, great stuff. We appreciate you as always. Let's do this again soon. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
My pleasure.
Appreciate
you both
it, Mike.
as well. Take care.
All right, there goes Michael Scotto, NBA insider for Hoops Hype, reporter for USA Today on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. If Cam Johnson's worth $22 million, Mikal Bridges is going to break the bank.
Yes, $40 million.
Break the bank.
I think he's going to get $40 million.
People saying like this is not going to be a busy offseason are crazy. It's the NBA. It's always a busy offseason. Stuff happens all the time. All right, coming up next, what do we think the Beal rumors tell us about the Kings this summer?
Need your Niners fix? Sactown Sports has you covered.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think Trey looks significantly better than he did last year. I really do. I think his confidence is there. I think that he's throwing really good passes. I mean, just watching him, he just looks so much more comfortable and confident in the pocket, and I really appreciate that from him, from all the work that he's put into it. He just looks like he's having fun because when he's out there having a good time, it definitely brings up everyone around him.
Get all your 49ers coverage leading into the 2023 season at Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
And it's swung on line to left center, base hit, and the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive, base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines. I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. Could Wizards All-Star Bradley Beal be dealt to the Sacramento Kings? Charania and Amick of The Athletic highlighted this enticing speculation this afternoon. Head to SactownSports.com right now for more information. Mirroring the very rules of baseball itself, Oakland Athletics are essentially one strike away from relocation. The disheartening count revealed itself yesterday after Nevada legislature jointly approved public funding for the Las Vegas Stadium deal to uproot the A's out of Oakland. Tampa Bay Rays beat Oakland 6-3 on Wednesday night, snapping the A's 7-game winning streak. Finally, the 123rd U.S. Open is underway at the Los Angeles Country Club. Your live leaderboard standings are provided, of course, by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele back in the clubhouse and tied atop the leaderboard with 8 under, while Scheffler, DeChambeau, Kim, and Barjan all tied at third and done for the day with 3 under. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie with Jay Johnson.
Cattles and Ramie.
Cattles and Ramie. Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Almost the second hour of the show today. Almost. Haven't hit 3 just yet. Would have asked Michael another question or two, man. We burnt our time with Michael Scotto. I thought he was tremendous. If you want to check out the full interview, you can do that soon enough. It'll be on SactownSports.com podcast page. Good stuff from Michael. And Michael talked about this Charania report if you're just jumping into your car. And wondering what in the world is going on. Charania reported earlier today, a couple hours ago, that the Kings have spoken with the Wizards about Bradley Beal. Now, Shams in this tweet says that right now there does not appear a clear pathway for the two sides. I found it interesting that Shams, and don't get it twisted, these insiders tweet all the time. When they use specific language, pay attention to it. I'm not telling you a deal is going to get done. As a matter of fact, I tell you there's probably a 5% chance this gets done. But when Shams uses the term right now, that does possibly lead you to, well, maybe later. There's no clear pathway right now, but depending on maybe some other pieces being moved, some other things happening, there might be a pathway. That's how I read it. And Shams left it open for interpretation, so that's what I read from it. Maybe someone disagrees with me, but when you put right now, it means right now. And Michael Scotto said that he believes it's just due diligence from the Kings, trying to find that third piece. And, you know, whether or not it makes sense ultimately for them to pull the trigger on a deal like this. And he talked about, as we talked about, JJ, to start this show, the salary cap implications, how this would impact the Kings not only in the short term but the long term. Here's a different spin on this, what I would say, significant, huge, large rumor, report. Bradley Beal's legit, okay? Bradley Beal is a legit player. He's an all-star player. He's not 35. He's had a couple of down years. Is it because he's declining, or is it because Washington stunk and he no longer cared as much? We'll see if he lands elsewhere, if it was Washington or if it was Beal. But this is a big deal. It's a big deal with the Kings getting involved with this conversation. So I'll read the tweet to you one more time. Another team that's had Bradley Beal trade talks with the Wizards, the Kings. Sources tell me and Sam Amick, our friend Sam, I'm sure Dave is scrambling to get Sam on the show tomorrow morning.
He was on the show this morning
right?
and no commented when asked about it.
He didn't have things lined up.
Said, I've been at the finals all week. I'm tired. I'm not really in Kings mode right now.
Yeah.
And then 4 hours later, he's breaking news.
Couldn't break a little Sactown sports off, huh?
He didn't have them sources set yet. Takes his journalism seriously.
Yeah.
Good for Sam.
Sam is, yeah.
So Shams continued, it's believed Beal would consider Sacramento given his no trade clause, but right now there does not appear a clear pathway for the two sides. So JJ, what's this tweet tell you about the Kings?
That I got a laundry list of things.
I love
Nick. A couple things. They want to win, and they finally are acting like it. Right? That's quick, fast, simple, and easy. To me, as I said, the West is wide open. I think after seeing this year kind of play out, Nick, the Kings, they probably believe they can at least make it to the Western Conference Finals. And I'm on record as saying here, if they would have beat the Warriors, they would have beat the Lakers. And that could just be my Laker hate. But, hey, look, I'm going to let it shine at this point. The other thing, too, is I believe they know, or they feel they can upgrade Kevin Huerter.
Yeah.
I think that he played well a lot this season. He had a couple of months where he fell off. And I also think the playoffs might have showed them something, and they might think, different of the future of Kevin Huerter with the Sacramento Kings jersey on. The other couple things too, I think they believe they have a championship roster or the building blocks or the foundation of that. And that to me means De'Aaron Fox and Domas.
Yeah, your top two guys.
Absolutely. And probably if you want to throw it in there, Keegan Murray.
Yep,
I would imagine those are your three. And then for the last thing for me too is I'm going to continue to keep going back to it, Nick. The NBA is wide open. And the CBA, we just heard Michael Scotto. You've talked about it. Ramie's talked about it. It's everywhere if you're paying attention in the NBA, atmosphere, the stratosphere. I don't think coming into next year, Denver will be the favorite. But beyond that, just about every team has a question mark. And it sounds crazy because it's like, well, you can say that every year. But I think more now than ever, the NBA has some teams where it's like, yeah. And we saw it this year in the East, right, Nick? It was your Boston Celtics, Philadelphia 76ers, and Giannis and the Bucks.
Yeah.
Right? And beyond that, nobody else. In the West, it was kind of more of a coin flip, hence why Phoenix went and grabbed Kevin Durant. They felt like they had a chance and opportunity. And so for me, I just think the Kings see and feel the NBA is there for the grasp. And as we continue, and you guys talked about earlier this week, and Denver could be the next dynasty. Well, if we're going to start that talk, then as a Sacramento King, part of that organization, I'm believing we got a shot to disrupt that.
Here's what I love. Absolutely freaking love about Shams's tweet today. It tells me that the Kings are not content. They're not content. They're not fat and happy. They're not putting their feet up on the table saying, hey, we made the playoffs. We got the beam. We're good to go.
Curse is broken. Let's go.
They're not content. They're looking at this as an opportunity, JJ. They believe. They see what they did this year, and they want to build on it. It's precisely what we talked about as soon as that series was over with the Warriors. And it's not to just dismiss what happened this year. No way. It's actually to appreciate and acknowledge what happened this year because you want to build on what you're beginning, right? And we talked about it right when the season was finished, right after Game 7 against the Warriors. We talked about that this team has an opportunity. They've got to make the most of it. They've got to run after it. They can't be content. They have to upgrade. Don't run it back, quote unquote, because you broke the 16-year streak, the drought. Don't do that. Don't run it back because we're afraid that fans aren't going to be happy with the move. No, this is all about Monte McNair, JJ. Monty couldn't care less how you feel about a move he makes. And that's a great thing when you have a GM that thinks that way. I'm sorry, Sam in Sacramento. I'm sorry, Freddie in Folsom. If you don't like me trading Tyrese Halliburton for Domas, deal with it because I'm going to do it because I think that's what's best for the team.
Man, keep your eyes to yourself.
And now, 16-year playoff drought, we could be fat and happy. But I'm willing to take a risk.
Come on now.
I'm willing to go after somebody. I am not content with what we did this past year. I love that about this conversation. I love that the Kings are going for it. If they don't get Beal, if you like Beal or you don't like Beal, to me, that's far down the list. And at the top of the list is you're going after a Bradley Beal.
There you go.
You're going after a top 30 guy. You're not just going to sit back and say, no, Fox and Domas, and, we're good. And we're going to just rely on Keegan Murray to become a superstar. You're not doing that. So not being content is a beautiful thing. Here's something else that I love about this story. You have an owner who is willing to spend.
Truth.
He's a guy.
John Fisher.
And we've talked to the anti-Fisher. We've talked about Vivek and some of the missteps in past years. And look, we all know certain things happened. And Vivek, I'm sure, would tell you if he was shot with truth serum that he's made some mistakes. But don't get it twisted. Vivek wants to win.
Yes.
He might have had his heart in the right place and his head not following it at times, but he wants to win. And an owner who's going to entertain this idea, because I don't think Monty's looking to trade Fox and Domas or Domas. I think he's trying to put Bradley Beal with those two guys. And for an owner to even give the okay for Monty to pick up the phone and make the call.
That's right.
Tells you that Vivek, he ain't worried about luxury tax aprons. He ain't worried about spending a ton of money. He's from, let's not forget, the Golden State Warriors.
Come on now.
And he's looking down the street and he sees what Joe Lacob did. And he sees how much money they spent. And he saw that dynasty built. And he's saying to himself, I ain't worried about the new CBA. I ain't worried about the luxury tax. I ain't worried about the handcuffs. I'm worried about winning. And if you can get me a third guy who's an all-star to go along with my two all-NBA cats that I have right now on the roster, let's do it. I'll spend the money. I'll send the private jet to pick his ass up.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, I like where you're coming from. You didn't give a shout out to Eddie in Elk Grove or Ozzy in Orangeville, but I see where you was going with it though, Nick. I like it, man. Now you got me fired up here.
It's the most important thing, JJ. Do you have an owner that's willing to spend?
True.
Do you have a GM that's willing to take a risk?
Yeah, very, very true. Very true. And I mean, it's the slumlord to the fantastic renter, the fantastic landlord. I'm with you, man. I just think they are trying to build on the foundation. And I believe, like you said, having these conversations for a top 30-ish guy, an all-star, a multiple-time all-star, someone who is going to make big bank. And it just lets me know, like you said, they're not content. I love everything you coming with, Nick. And, I would love to see a person like Bradley Beal, and I know we're throwing out his name. I'm pretty sure we have a laundry list of other guys that we would love to see that might cost a little less. But as we heard with Michael Scotto, and this is what I was trying to say in the first segment, Nick, is there's a lot of people who you're not going to equate $30 to $40 million with their name, and you're like, wait a minute, that dude's making $40 million bucks.
Yeah,
it's kind of gonna go back to and I can't remember. Correct me. The summer of 16 or 17 where guys
16.
were 16 where guys were getting money. You're like, wait a minute, Solomon, what? Solomon Hill got $45 million.
Tyler Johnson, $72 million.
Oh, what?
That's awful.
Yeah, it's gonna go back to the summer of 16, but it's gonna look a little different because Michael Scotto just said Cam Johnson, low to mid 20s. I would like to keep them around 15 to high, teens, but doesn't look that way.
Now, here's one more thing I would say too, JJ. I just literally went to the note of the tweet and I highlighted this part. It's believed Beal would consider Sacramento given his no trade clause.
I mean, he's open.
This is somebody who could go Sacramento, no way.
Yep.
That's the change of the reputation. That's the third thing that I love about this tweet from Shams is the fact that Bradley Beal, we're talking Philly, we're talking Washington, we're talking Philly, we're talking Miami, we're talking Boston, we're talking all these places, right?
Yep.
Even Golden State was brought up in certain areas that I've seen in the last day or two. Sacramento was not in this conversation a year ago, JJ.
Not even close.
Sacramento would not be considered by somebody with a no-trade clause like a Bradley Beal, seen as a top 30 player when he's playing his best, and might have options to go to Miami, South Beach, or go to L.A., or go to San Francisco with Golden State and that dynasty, or go to Philadelphia with Joel Embiid, who won the MVP, or go to Boston, who was Game 6 of the Finals 2 years ago, and in the Eastern Conference Finals, Game 7 this past year. Bradley Beal being open to the idea of the Kings tells you how many steps this organization has made in the past 365 days. And it also tells you that you could have a GM that's willing to take a risk. You can have an owner who's willing to spend the money, but it ain't going to mean a thing if a player doesn't want to be here.
Very true.
And the fact that Bradley Beal's open to being dealt to Sacramento, all three pieces fall together. The owner willing to spend the money, the GM willing to take the risk, and the player willing to come here.
Sign me up. Can I go pick him up? I know you said Vivekson and the Jet, but sign me up. I'm looking, and that's what I'm looking for. I come on the airways when I have the opportunity and always say I'm looking for moves to win a championship. I'm not looking for moves to feel good and sell tickets. That's not my job. As a fan, I want to see a championship come to Sacramento, and that's how I look at it. And for me, guys like Bradley Beal, guys like Dame Lillard, I'm throwing big time names out there, but that to me is what it's going to take to win a championship here in Sacramento, unless I see anything different. I saw what Denver did. I know they had 2 stars lead the way. I'm more of a believer it takes a third guy kind of to make it make sense. But I like the fact that they're even in the conversations, and you make great points, Nate. Fantastic stuff, brother.
All right, so your reactions to the Bradley Beal tweet from Shams Charania that the Kings have picked up the phone. They've talked to Washington about Bradley Beal. Right now, I underline right now, doesn't seem to be a clear path to a deal. Doesn't mean there can't be a clear path 2 days from now, 2 weeks from now.
If we get there, it sounds like Jay's ready to drive Kevin Huerter to the airport.
Well, I'll let that man get the black car. He get the Uber car.
Text line is 916-339-1140. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. YouTube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Give us that thumbs up. We always appreciate the likes. More likes means more eyeballs. What does this phone call from the Kings, from Monty to the Wizards about Bradley Beal, what does that tell you about the Kings? I just gave you 3 things it tells me. JJ gave you a few things it tells him. What does it tell you? We'll get to your reaction. Also, is Kirk Cousins looking towards a Kyle Shanahan reunion? We'll have the latest in 90 seconds.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
Whether you like or don't like Bradley Beal, the Shams tweet is just huge for the Kings. Gave you 3 reasons why. Number 1, you have an owner willing to spend big. Number 2, you have a GM willing to take a risk for talent. Number 3, you have an all-star open and waiving his no-trade clause to come to Sacramento. Huge. Huge. Your thoughts? Feel free. 916-339-1140 is a text line. We don't charge you to give your opinion. You can also give us a phone call at 1-800-920-1140. Don't forget, website, SactownSports.com. I'm sure our guy Frankie going to have all sorts of content and many, many thoughts about this Bradley Beal story that came out today. Again, it's SactownSports.com. We will get to Kirk Cousins in a little while, whether or not he's angling for a reunion with Kyle Shanahan. But Andrew Cardwell has a message for JJ. The YouTube chat. He says, let the Laker hate shine, baby.
That's it, baby. No Lake show over here.
Let it shine, let it shine, let it
Man,
shine.
Can't believe these cats in Sacramento like the Lakers.
You also brought up the summer of 2016. Manny Too Legit said he misses the summer of 2016.
Oh, it must have been good.
It was a great summer. I wish I could teleport back.
And it was 7 years ago, so I was 7 years younger. So, yeah, I'd like to go back to
Me too.
2016, too.
Great year.
We lived in a
Great
world
year.
where Alan Crabb was getting $72 million.
Shout out to Alan Crabb, man. 3-and-D wing, baby.
What is Alan Crabb doing these days?
Living on an island in a big mansion, thanks to the $72 million he was given in the summer of 2016.
There were about 2 days where the richest contract in NBA history was signed by Mike Conley.
Oof.
The Tyler Johnson one's
Yeah,
got to
that
be
was-
one of the worst of all time.
Tyler Crabb last time. Let's see.
He was immediately useless, Tyler Johnson, after
Yeah.
signing that contract.
Truth.
I think he had only started like 6 career games when he signed that deal.
Awful.
Man.
Let's go to TC. Wants to talk about Bradley Beal. What's up, TC?
Nick, JJ, what's up?
What's up, bud?
All right, just chilling. Hey, I agree with everything you were just saying. Like, first of all, we got to go back a few callers and like everybody's getting over amped up about Bradley Beal. Bro, I'm trading Herter. I'm trading Herter and Davion for like if we got, and I love both those guys, but if we got to make the move to bring in Beal, I'm bringing him in. Not on top of that, Nick, what you were talking about as far as he's almost, Uncle V is almost like Joe Wake Up in a way. He ready to spend big money, bro. He not really tripping. He like the Kings. We back on the map. We up. We got the beam going. He not tripping on that money. He trying to buy every other team to bring him to Sacramento anyway. So you got to like, that's a big thing you got to pay attention to. So I agree with you, Nick. Uncle V's ready to spend some money. And if that's the move to pull Bill in, I think that's going to happen. It's either going to be him or OG. It's a big move that's about to be making in Sacramento to really push us over the top, bro. So everybody grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, and get ready.
TC, thank you. Get your popcorn ready. Do you like Uncle V? Do you like the Uncle V
I
nickname?
love Uncle V. You know, I didn't say this to you guys. I didn't tell you guys this, but over the weekend I had slid down to Los Angeles, right? And guess who I sat next to?
Who?
Just take a wild guess. It has something to do with get your popcorn ready.
Oh, T.O.?
T.O.
No kidding.
No BS. Literally. Sat next to
You in
sat next to
that
T.O.
first class joint?
No, wasn't here. It surprised me. Look, he was amongst the people.
T.O.
was amongst the
commercial
people. He
business
was, man, A quick flight down to Los Angeles. It probably was nothing, but
He's trying to save that
T.O.,
coin.
man. Yeah. Solid dude, too.
Look at you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. The guy who was sitting next to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, sitting with Kyrie Irving at a playoff game. I mean, it doesn't surprise me at this point.
It's one of those things where I was going like, and I just told him, I was like, man, you was a dope player, a solid cat, good stuff. You was a bad boy. He laughed and we talked a little bit. He was playing a little Tetris or something on the phone. And I started to ask for a picture. I'm not really, let's flick it up type of guy all the time, but I was like, it's a Hall of Famer, but I respected it, man. It was an early morning flight, so I let him do him.
I think it's actually the other way around. I think T.O. was telling people when he landed in L.A. that he sat next to JJ.
The one and only Jay Johnson.
You'll never guess who I sat next to on the plane.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Jay Johnson. They were like, Jay Johnson?
Blessed life, man, sometime.
He ain't in that first class joint? No, he's sitting next to me. All right, let's switch gears here for a few minutes. Cattles and Ramie, no Ramie today. He's in L.A. on vacation.
He is.
JJ in for him. Kirk Cousins in the last year of his contract with Minnesota. And here was Cousins talking about his situation with the media this week.
I think we'll probably talk about the contract next March. And until then, just focus on this season and the job to do right now.
That's a baller move because you're sitting there looking at possibly $100 to $150 million that you could bank right now. And his response is, we'll wait until March. I'm good. Wait until March and we'll get around to it.
That's right.
We'll get around to it. Warren Sharp, JJ, tweeted this out about Cousins' contract history. Cousins has not signed a deal that was not fully guaranteed since he was a rookie.
That's crazy.
He got $20 million fully guaranteed in 2016. He got $24 million fully guaranteed 2017. 2018, he got $84 million guaranteed. 2020, $66 million guaranteed. In 2022, $35 million guaranteed. He has made, JJ, $231 million in his NFL career. $229 million of that $231 has been fully guaranteed.
In the words of Chuck, guarantee.
Guarantee.
Come on, man. I mean, dude has played the game better than just about anybody out there in the NFL. And it's kind of like we're talking about the NBA money. When you sit back and really sit back and take a look at it, Kirk Cousins has been paid since the years he was in Washington, and on the franchise tag. And if I'm not mistaken, he is the only player to be triple franchise tagged, right? 3 years, and he didn't play on the third one.
I think so. Right? He was franchised twice in Washington.
Yes.
He played 2 years, and then the third one, I don't think they ever tagged him. I think they just let him go into free agency, and that's when he got that.
Well, you can't
deal.
tag somebody 3 times. Right? You can
Right.
only
I
tag
thought
them
it was
twice.
but I thought it was the third. Like he was going to be able to get some type of emergency tag, or it was something at that point in time, which I can't remember.
If there's a loophole, he's going to find it. My man knows the business.
That
of
dude's
the
got
NFL.
his money, man. Dude is for everything that he is all on the field. I got to give it to Kirk, man. He was doing push-ups in the driveway like T.O. at one point in time during the pandemic, and he was doing, workouts in his garage. But I see why. I mean, he don't have a care in the world when it comes to finances, man.
No, he ain't worried about it at all.
No.
He is a king
Kirk
in business.
is one of the 10 highest paid football players in NFL history. With the next deal, he's going to pass Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger.
He's going to be 35 years old in a couple of months. So he's looking at least one more deal. And you wonder, what is he up to? I think he's doing what he usually does, which is play the market perfectly.
I wouldn't doubt him, Nick.
The more time he sits, the more time he waits to sign a new deal, other quarterbacks can be signing deals. Dak Prescott, for example, him and the Dallas situation is fascinating. Dallas has to make a decision with Dak because of his cap numbers and all that stuff. Kirk could be waiting out some of these other quarterbacks to sign bigger deals, and then Kirk comes in, and now his deal will look better because these other guys signed. He's waiting out the expensive quarterback market, and he's going to be the best free agent quarterback available.
Right?
There's not going to be out there, and I'm not telling you Kirk Cousins is great. He certainly is not, but he's going to be the best guy available via free agency if you don't have a high draft pick or don't want to give up what it would take. And he might have an eye on San Francisco saying, all right, Brock Purdy was good for those 8 games, but let's see if Brock Purdy follows it up this year. Because if not, he knows for a fact that Kyle Shanahan loves him some Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he does. I would be all out on that. As you talked about driving somebody to the airport, I'm not even going to try to pick him up, send a car, nothing. But I do think that it is going to be his turn, Nick. And that's what you're talking about when it comes to the quarterbacks. Every year we turn around and say, man, he got that. And oh my goodness, he got paid, but it's just his turn. He's up next. And if Jimmy Garoppolo's getting $72 million, $75 million guaranteed, we know Kirk's going to get at least double that when it comes to,
32-year-old Derek Carr just got $100 million guaranteed, which is, I think Kirk could maybe get that, but it just sounds insane that a 35-year-old Kirk Cousins is going to get $100 million guaranteed.
I could see him signing one of those deals.
Like 3 for $90?
Yeah, 3 for $90, 3 for $100, somewhere in that. With pretty much all of it guaranteed. And you got to walk away with like $350 million in his career. Guaranteed, $350 in the pocket.
More than $250 million.
You like that? Tabitha Mueller of the Nevada Independent joins us to talk A's next.
Sactown Sports is your source for the 49ers.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
Did that leave a bitter taste in your mouth?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Me and Kyle had a long meeting the other day. We watched tape. We talked about it. We put it behind us. And just going through the tape and just look how sluggish and like how bad it looked on tape. Like I said, just reflecting on last offseason, it kind of played a big role in that. I never put nothing like that back on tape again.
Tune into Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest 49ers offseason developments.
Being a letter carrier and walking 20,000 steps, which equals up to about 10 miles a day, it's tough. I really didn't have feet problems. I had back problems. I had had as many epidurals that I could possibly have in 1 year. That was scary. Well, I'd been delivering letters to the Good Feet store for over 6 years, and the expert there finally convinced me to try their arch supports.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Keith actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
The people at the Good Feet store really educated me about what the arch supports could actually do. And lo and behold, I have no more back problems. The future I can see now. I couldn't see it before. Where I would be without them, I have no clue. I'm Keith, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
O'Reilly. Win the battle against rust and corrosion with PB Blaster at O'Reilly Auto Parts. PB Blaster quickly busts loose rusted, corroded, or frozen parts. PB Blaster is great for everything from bolts to frozen locks. Right now, pick up an 11-ounce bottle of PB Blaster for just $6.99, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air, in a public place, in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using Stem mosquito repellent is the right way. Stem effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
If you want to hit the golf ball farther and straighter, the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers you the opportunity to experience the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA Tour professionals. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is an indoor facility that opens onto the driving range so you can see your all-important ball flight. With the advantages of cutting-edge technology and analyzing your ball flight, the Hagen Oaks professional staff will make you a better player. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, or call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to ainyourdigital.com today. ainyourdigital.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. Could Wizards All-Star Bradley Beal be dealt to the Sacramento Kings? Charania and Amick of The Athletic highlighted this enticing speculation this afternoon. Head to SactownSports.com right now for more information. Mirroring the very rules of baseball itself, Oakland Athletics are essentially one strike away from relocation. The disheartening count revealed itself yesterday after Nevada legislature jointly approved public funding for the Las Vegas Stadium deal to uproot the A's out of Oakland. Tampa Bay Rays beat Oakland 6-3 on Wednesday night, snapping the A's 7-game winning streak. Finally, the 123rd U.S. Open is underway at the Los Angeles Country Club. Your live leaderboard standings are provided, of course, by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele back in the clubhouse and tied atop the leaderboard with 8 under, while 9 players are tied in third with 3 under. I'll keep you updated all afternoon. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie with Jay Johnson.
With you 1 mile at a time during the afternoon drive. Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
All right, so we got 2 big local stories today. Bradley Beal and the conversations between the Kings and the Wizards, reported on by Charania. And also the Oakland A's in this move to Vegas.
Oh, Nick, you breaking my heart, brother.
Sorry about it, man. Ain't my fault.
You're breaking my heart.
And we're going to talk about that story right now. Tabitha Mueller from the Nevada Independent joins us on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Tabitha, thank you for the time. It is much appreciated. We appreciate you. Was there any surprise that the public funding bill passed this week?
I don't think that it was a surprise that the public funding bill passed this week. I mean, we had seen a lot of discussions about it. I think it was a surprise that it had died in the regular legislative session. But as soon as the governor kind of brought it back and said this was kind of his priority for this second special session, I think it was from there, it was just kind of a matter of figuring out what the team would agree to, what the lawmakers would agree to, and kind of getting it moving forward.
Tabitha, I've been enthralled with this legislation and bill since it was even mentioned. 1, because I'm a huge A's fan, and 2nd, because I really enjoy my time when I go to Las Vegas. And with that being said, I see where the money in the state is going, where they're going to kick in for the A's to come to Vegas. But in layman terms, can you really break down where this money is really coming from? And does it mean, personally, I'm going to have to pay more resort fees coming my way down the road?
Well, let me tell you, if you visit Las Vegas, I don't think that this deal means that you personally will end up paying more in resort fees. Essentially, what this deal is, it's $380 million in public financing is kind of what we're talking about here. $180 million of that is coming from the state in terms of transferable tax credits. You have some of that money also coming in the form of bonding and from the county, and then so transferable. And then just like a $25 million credit as well. And I think that what we're seeing in terms of how these credits get paid back and the bonding is repaid is through tax revenue generated by the stadium. So let's say you go to the stadium and you buy a hot dog and you wear a baseball cap and you also buy a flag for the team. The taxes on those items would go to pay for the stadium, if that makes sense. And it would only affect the stadium.
Gotcha. Tabitha Mueller with us here on Sactown Sports, Cattles and Ramie. Ramie out, JJ in for him. Any shot that the governor, Tabitha, doesn't move this along?
I mean, I think I can't say for sure 100% the governor doesn't veto or changes, but I think it is highly, highly, highly unlikely that the governor would veto this piece of legislation, right? He called everyone in after the regular legislative session was over, because Nevada only meets every 2 years for 120 days to determine all the laws for the state. And when he called people back, that's taxpayer money that's going into, he said, I want this deal in my hands. And so my guess is that he signs it, and we're hearing maybe in a couple of days, although who knows?
Right. Very true. Here with Tabitha Mueller of Nevada Independent. Tabitha, as a Nevada resident, in your mind, the feel is, do you believe that there's any way, shape, or form that the people of Las Vegas didn't want the A's to come?
So first off, I live up in northern Nevada, and actually we're closer to the A's now than they will be when it goes down south to Las Vegas. And I think that there were some folks that were very frustrated with this. I think there were some folks that were very excited about this. A lot of people don't pay attention to the legislative process, and so I think there are quite a few folks, too, who didn't even know this was happening, right?
Wow.
I think that the biggest concern from a lot of constituents is, what we heard, at least from opponents of this, is why are we putting money toward this when we maybe should put money toward education or housing or something like that, right?
Yeah, no doubt about that. And we heard some of those questions from the state Senate earlier this week. Tabitha Mueller is on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Tabitha, is John Fisher in Major League Baseball overlooking how much it matters that the Golden Knights were actually founded in Vegas, and they didn't relocate when they talk about the expectations of interest for this franchise?
I mean, obviously they knew the success of the Golden Knights. They knew where the Golden Knights came from. The people who wrote this bill also wrote the bill to bring the Raiders to Las Vegas. And I'm preemptively sorry that we've stolen 2 teams from you guys over there. But I think that was not a consideration when they were looking at this, and they've continually said that they think that Las Vegas in and of itself is sort of a unique area. Now, a lot of economists have sort of panned public funding for stadiums, so I think devil's going to be in the details when we finally see when it's built, what it's producing, those kinds of things.
Tabitha, when it comes to Las Vegas, I would imagine the structure 10 times more than I do. As far as where they're going to actually put this stadium, which is it seems to be Tropicana land right now.
Yeah.
From your standpoint, does it seem to be, I guess what I'm asking is, does it make sense financially to add another team to Las Vegas in the location of where the A's are trying to, situate?
Well, I think lawmakers think that it is. But I think one of the things that's also interesting about this is where they're putting the stadium, they're actually not going to have to pay the property taxes on that parcel of land. So, I mean, in addition to that $380 million that we're talking about, there's also, a lot of money that would be paid in property taxes that is not going to go back to the county, that is not going to go to the state, right? That's just money that the team or the stadium authority will not have to pay. As for the kind of financial aspects of this, lawmakers said in the assembly yesterday that this parcel of land that it's being proposed to be put on is a very valuable piece of real estate, right? It's on the strip. It's close to the airport to a certain degree, and that's also something that they're going to have to consider when they put in the stadium and lighting and that kind of thing. But it's also got it's something else would have been built there, is what the assembly members said. And so, I can't say whether or not this was the best thing that will go here. I think that there's been a lot of pushback on stadium deals recently. I mean, the former governor, Steve Sisolak, said, I can't remember when, but it was a while ago, that he would not support public funding for another stadium. He did change that a couple of weeks ago and went back on that statement. So, I think time will tell.
Tabitha, thanks for the time. We appreciate you. Great stuff, and have a good weekend.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Tabitha Mueller from the Nevada Independent on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. One thing I've been bouncing around in my head, JJ, is whether or not Vegas can support multiple professional franchises as they continue to stockpile. You got the Golden Knights, you got the Raiders, Major League Baseball is coming in now. We hear that the NBA wants a franchise in Vegas.
WNBA is already there.
Yep. The
Minor
Aces.
League Baseball.
I mean, you have so many things already going on in the city. Is it going to be endless?
You're right.
Will you be able to continue to have the magic that the Golden Knights have had? We know Raiders games, there's a lot of tourists at Raiders games, but the difference is that you got one football game a week and people can fly in and fly out.
Right.
So weeknights, NBA game, you're going to have 20,000 people in the stadium? The arena?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Baseball, 162 game schedule. They're not budging on that. Nope. You're going to have people there in the middle of the week when it's 115 degrees out in Vegas? Even if you're in a dome, which they will be, air conditioned, are you still going to be there? So I do think there's a legitimate question whether or not Vegas can support all of these teams. And if they can't, there's going to be a lot of regret in corners of the sports world making these decisions.
Unfortunately, Nick, I think John Fisher will be long gone by that time. I think he'll be out, you know, and it won't matter one way or another if Las Vegas and the city and the state of Nevada can support what the A's are putting down. And I think that's part of the conversation, you know, you've seen in the Senate and Assembly over the last couple of weeks is, you know, quite frankly, can you trust John Fisher? Can you trust Dave Cavill? Can you trust the A's organization to deliver and, you know, really put some emphasis on what they're saying and you know, the land and the money and, you know, and that's why the financials of it is one thing I do know about anything, Nick, is it comes down to finances one way or another. If you want to go take a vacation, do you have the money to go do so? If you want to go out and eat, do you have the money that, you know, to properly go and do that? Or are you going to have to, you know, go home and look what's in your pantry and cook it? And that's why it's very interesting to see the Assembly and the Senate and the legislators really push this through. And here we go again, creative finances, man. Creative finances. It's going to be very interesting because one thing we know is John Fisher ain't coming up off the wallet.
No doubt. And there's ways to find money. There's always ways to find money. It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
Has one outlet lost their minds with their NBA player rankings? We'll give you our thoughts next.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Every week getting to talk to Kenneth Cornelius Thomas.
Oh my God, he busts out the whole name.
Hey, come on.
Special show. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to coming back next year. Hopefully we can keep this going. I enjoyed being on here with the nothing, dude. Don't make me reach through this phone, man.
You're in New Mexico. I can talk garbage.
Hey, I know where you live. I'll find out.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mainly clear tonight. A delta breeze will cool us off to the upper 50s by morning. Tomorrow will be sunny and warm with highs in the low to mid 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Carmichael Dave here. Spring here. Long, cold, rainy winter behind us. And I know you're counting the days until summer, but don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioning is working efficiently and safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from my friends at American Energy Heat and Air. Nothing worse than having your AC go out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today to make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Or schedule your appointment online like I did last year around this time at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Don't wait till that AC goes out. Call my friends today, 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
If your Medi-Cal is ending, Cover California is here to help. Cover California is a service from the state that helps you get affordable health insurance. In many cases, at no cost to you, just like with Medi-Cal. We have quality health plans and will help you every step of the way to get the one that works for you and your family. So if you're no longer eligible for Medi-Cal, check out Cover California. We'll keep you covered. Learn more at coveredca.com.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wells Fargo gives you access to direct deposit funds up to 2 days early.
Plus, if you look at the X and Y axes,
what if everything came 2 days early? Like the weekend.
That was a pleasant surprise.
You can't get everything early, but when it comes to direct deposits, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/get-early to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Not all direct deposits are eligible. Early availability is not guaranteed and may vary between deposits from the same payer. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Sacramento Kings basketball is back this summer. Catch 6 games of NBA action and fun for the whole family when the California Classic Summer League returns on July 3rd and 5th. The Kings will host the Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers, Miami Heat, and newly added San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets with the number 1 and number 2 NBA draft picks. 2-day passes start at just $42 and include access to all 6 games. Visit kings.com/California Classic for more information and to buy your tickets today.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number 1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
One brings Mackloff magic, while the other, we're still trying to figure that out.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Kyle just like Simone behind the board for a second. You know how Simone gets all like jazzed up and there's a lot of stuff going on? She's like looking around. Kyle looked like there was a fire drill for like a second. He's looking at the board, looking around. He's jumping to the other counter.
So
Go ahead, Kyle.
I have what you might call radio brain at this point, where anytime I hear silence, I start freaking out a little bit.
We all have that, yeah. Yep. A second of silence feels like 10 seconds. That's how,
Totally.
That's how the world works.
Simone and I will just be in the middle of a conversation over here, and then if there's like a moment of silence, we'll both spring into action.
All right, JJ, let's get to this, shall we? The Ringer, and we're going to talk about the Kings later on and what the Ringer thought of the Kings in their latest player rankings. They gave us the top 125 in the league. So there were some names that stood out to you and I. We didn't quite agree with the Ringer's rankings on some of these guys. So let's run through some of them, get thoughts from the people as well. All right, let's start with Kevin Durant. So KD was ranked 4th, number 4 in the entire NBA. And not only that, was KD number 4, but the little stock symbol was going up on KD somehow, some way.
Interesting.
KD number 4. What do you think, JJ?
A bit high. I mean, he's, as they said, an all-time great scorer who provides no solutions for the opponent. And, you know, I guess his what he does great. He's a pull-up threat, clutch gene, and human highlight. I love how they have the attributes there for the players next to it. KD is a beast, but 4th right now, maybe a little high for me, just based on he hasn't been healthy over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it feels like it's high. He's 34, the injury history.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to have desire to play defense moving forward.
No, I wouldn't either.
He could probably tap out on that end.
He's in front of Tatum.
Yeah, KD at 4 is a little high for me.
In front of Tatum, in front of Luka.
Devin Booker was their number 1 in the playoffs this year.
In front of the MVP, Joel Embiid.
It's high. Yeah. 4's high. All right, then we go to former teammate of KD, James Harden.
Oh.
Harden is ranked 19th by the Ringer, JJ.
Man, they better stop playing around. There's certain times and certain things, Nick, where you look at him like, okay, that's not real. I'm not even gonna let that hold weight anymore. James Harden is not even close to being the 19th best NBA player anymore. He had a good solid run. Season 14, they got him as a floor general. I almost laughed.
A floor general.
James Harden's a floor general.
I don't know, man.
Come on.
This is high for me when I look at this. Maybe they're telling us this is the non-Philadelphia 76ers projection, maybe, and he'll go to Houston and he'll just score 35 a night because he'll take 25 shots. But he's 33 years old. His athleticism is
shot.
It's never been great, but it is declining by the second, it feels like. And we know a big part of his game was driving into traffic and driving into the paint and hurling his body forward to get free throws.
Right.
I think that's going to slow down. And could you possibly have any confidence, JJ, in believing that an aging, super rich James Harden is going to change his approach at any point? Or is it more likely, especially if he goes to Houston, is it more likely that he'll be enjoying the nightlife even more than he has before?
Absolutely. It's the twilight. He's got to celebrate. And we've heard whispers and rumors. And, I don't even think it's a rumor. We know when he was playing in Houston, he would hold up the plane for hours, when the team is getting ready to take off because of his nightlife and because of, the fly and flashy life James Harden lives. Man, 19th is a bit much for my liking, Nick. 19th?
I had him ahead of Domas and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I don't know how you can have James Harden ahead of Anthony Edwards.
Come on, man.
That's madness.
And in front of your boy, who I believe we're getting ready to talk about maybe here.
Yeah, you might be talking about a little bit of Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is at 22 on this list, 22nd ranked player in the NBA. Jaylen Brown.
No, that's second team All-NBA Jaylen Brown, if I'm correct, right?
Yes.
All right, so that means he's in front of guys that made the third team and guys who didn't make any team, which is James Harden.
True.
All right, I'm just saying Ja Morant, we don't know what's going on. Jaylen Brown's an all-around defensive-minded guy. He is, as they say, he is an interior scorer. He's a pull-up threat. He's a human highlight. I don't know what human highlight technically means. They didn't break this down for me, Nick. I don't know if I was supposed to take it in a Dominique Wilkins effect or the fact of the matter is, he's regularly within the highlights. But, Jaylen Brown's 26 years old, getting ready to get paid, 6'6", went to Cal. So, we're going to love him a little bit out here more in Northern California. But he just does it all, man. He is the prototypical 3-and-D guy in the NBA for me right now.
He needs to make more threes consistently.
True.
His shot selection, he's been up and down from three his whole career, and it's got to do with shot selection. His shot's fine. He just takes some outrageous threes at times. But, yeah, I would have JB higher than this.
Would you guys put him in the same group as like Donovan Mitchell at 15 and Jamal Murray at 16?
He's somewhere, he's somewhere in that group.
Yeah,
he's closer to that than, James Harden is.
Yes, come on now.
Jalen's only 26. The biggest issue is his playmaking without turning the ball over. He's got to work on that, but he is a two-way wing when he wants to be.
Yes.
He also sleeps on defense from time to time. But I do wonder, these are the kinds of things that Jaylen Brown might look at and say, I'm disrespected because I play with Jason Tatum. I'm sure in Jaylen Brown's mind, he thinks if he wasn't with Tatum, he'd be a number one somewhere else. I'm not sold on that idea, but I think Jaylen is sold on that. I think Jaylen believes that he is subjugating his ego and his stats and his stature to play alongside Tatum. I think if you take Tatum away from Brown, we saw it in the playoffs in Game 7.
Yeah.
Without Tatum, if you ask Jaylen to create consistently and play make, it doesn't go great.
Yeah.
His efficiency drops, his turnovers go up, but I think there's part of it. Let's get to the next guy. Trae Young at 23.
A tad bit high for me as well. Trae is a scoring machine. They have him as a passing virtuoso.
He's a good passer.
Is he a virtuoso? A virtuoso is the
like
type
Magic Johnson.
Yes, come on, Jason Kidd, that type of thing.
So is great below virtuoso?
Yes.
Oh, then I guess he wouldn't be a virtuoso, but he is great.
Yeah, he's great, exactly. He's a little high for me. I think all he does is score. I know that's the NBA. I know, guys like Steph Curry and KD and Luka Doncic, and there's a bunch of guys who they've created the fact that you need to score. We just saw with the Sacramento Kings. He's in front of Anthony Edwards. No way for me.
No.
Paul George, I would take Paul George over Trae Young myself.
Me too.
Jalen Brunson, I would take Jalen Brunson over Paul George. There's some guys on there, Pascal Siakam,
I take Lauri Markkanen over Trae Young.
I probably would at this point, too.
Would.
I probably would. He's 26 years old, and he's a big fella. And the one thing Lauri he's shown, especially in Utah, is he can play on that elbow. He's a catch and shoot three, and the other part I really like Lauri is he's a gamer, man. And Trae's a gamer too. Now that's one thing about Trae I really get. They have him as a clutch gene guy. He is a gamer and he will show up when the going gets tough. And I think Laurie's that type of guy, too. He's a little high for me as well.
I would take Ant, certainly. I'd take Jalen Brunson over him, certainly. He's never going to play defense.
No.
He's not even a sniff defense.
Yeah.
He's small. He doesn't like playing defense. He doesn't love physical contact. I loved Trae Young when he was at Oklahoma, like the first,
Yes.
I saw him play that year, and I remember tweeting about him. And I was mystified. A little Steph Curry to his game in college where he just come up and logos threes. He still does that, a decent amount in Atlanta, but there was that freedom. I always thought, Travis Schlenke, Atlanta tried to mimic Golden State.
Warriors.
When
South.
Trae Young and Kevin Huerter screamed to me, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Always wanted that kind of feel.
Got you.
I think they wanted their DeAndre Hunter to be a Draymond Green, but better offensively. Kind of that forward who can defend really well and facilitate at times. But, I think Trae's a little too high. I've fallen out of love with him.
So would you go with like a Tyrese Halliburton even over him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll take
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Last one is Zion. He's ranked 30th, which is outrageous to me.
I'm going to take a step back and let you get to Zion.
There's no way in hell that Zion should be in the top 30. He's played like 120 games out of the possible 300 plus. How do you put him? How do you even put him? I don't know how you could put him in the top 50. He hasn't played. He's played like 30% of his games.
29 in the last 2 seasons.
How in the world is this guy ranked in the top 30?
They got him over Tyrese Halliburton. They got him over Jaren Jackson Jr., Draymond, Mikal Bridges, Drew Holiday, Kyrie,
outrageous.
Aaron Gordon,
Bradley Beal,
outrageous.
Yeah.
Kyle's got a thing for Aaron Gordon, man. He loves himself.
I'm
Aaron
a
Gordon.
basketball nerd. All the advanced numbers loved Aaron Gordon this year.
I don't know, you just love. I think it's unhealthy though. Like you can really like somebody or love somebody, but you're like obsessed.
He's fell in love.
I would take Aaron Gordon over
him into the
Julius
conversation,
Randle, man.
He shoehorned him this morning in the meeting, and he shoehorned him right now. Loves Aaron Gordon.
So what you and AG over there, Kyle?
San Jose's own Aaron Gordon, baby.
Archbishop Mitty or whatever. Look, the name of the school.
Man, he deserves the love. He's one of the 30 best players in the league.
Yeah.
All right. So there's some of the
time.
rankings from the Ringer that we disagreed with.
You got no love for Zion.
Come on, man. I love Zion, but the dude hasn't done enough in the NBA. They already gave him a max deal for nothing.
You taking Carl over Zion right now? Carl Anthony Towns?
No.
Ooh.
I don't know. That's tough.
Okay.
That's
Jaren
tough.
Jackson Jr.
Yes.
Okay.
He just won
100%.
Defensive Player of the Year.
100%. Even if he didn't, I would take Jared Jackson.
Mikal
Jr.
Bridges?
Yes.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Yes. I'd rather have a guy who could possibly be an all-star and plays than a guy who doesn't play.
Julius Randle. That's where the buck stops.
That's tough.
DeJounte Murray?
Give me Zion.
I'd probably take Murray at this point.
Andrew Wiggins?
Definitely.
Definitely yes.
Yeah,
Over
definitely.
Zion?
We're getting into the territory. I'd take Zion.
I'm just I don't know. I'm out on Zion, man. I love him, but he's never playing.
LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, I'd take LaMelo.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Coming up, how does the Bradley Beal to the Kings talk impact this summer's expectations?
Cattles
and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Greetings from M&S Auto on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. And a big thanks to our repeat customers for letting us be your favorite car dealer. Repeat customers make us proud. M&S customers know that they're going to find the car, 4x4, or SUV they want. They'll get treated like family and save thousands. Whether you're a repeat customer or a first-time buyer, welcome. M&S Auto, the intelligent car buying experience. MSAutogroup.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. One of the byproducts of the A's good play recently has been that three pitchers earned their first major league wins within a span of less than 2 weeks. Lucas Erceg against Atlanta, May 29th. Hogan Harris against the Pirates on June 7th. Luis Medina, June 9th against Milwaukee. And Ken Waldichuk earned his first save by blanking Tampa Bay for 3 innings, beginning the most recent homestand. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
Pain is not normal. Repeat, pain is not normal. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store. Does this sound familiar? It's the end of the workday, and the pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back is unrelenting. Good Feet understands that you've likely already tried assorted remedies and solutions with no relief. And now you're pretty much resigned to living with the pain. But do not give in to the pain. Instead, come to the Good Feet store for their end-to-end 3-step arch support system. Good Feet is the nation's largest manufacturer and retailer of personalized arch supports. With arch supports in over 300 sizes, styles, and flexibilities, and an arch support specialist in each store. Come in today for a free no-obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk around the store or around the center. Experience the comfort, balance, and support possible with the Good Feet system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now in Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
I'm James, senior apparel designer, and this is Behind the Design with Blue Ranch Wear. This is your true, unfiltered Western brand. There's a beauty in the simplicity of the product to be able to move, but still have that classic Western sensibility. Rigid out of the box, you put on your back and it just wears with you. Year after year of wearing the product, so it just becomes yours. Blue Ranch Wear, only at Boot Barn.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. Could Wizards All-Star Bradley Beal be dealt to the Sacramento Kings? Charania and Amick of The Athletic highlighted this enticing speculation this afternoon. Head to SactownSports.com right now for more information. Mirroring the very rules of baseball itself, Oakland Athletics are essentially one strike away from relocation. The disheartening count revealed itself yesterday after Nevada legislature jointly approved public funding for the Las Vegas Stadium deal to uproot the A's out of Oakland. Tampa Bay Rays beat Oakland 6-3 on Wednesday night, snapping the A's 7-game winning streak. Finally, the 123rd U.S. Open is underway at the Los Angeles Country Club. Your live leaderboard standings are provided, of course, by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele back in the clubhouse and tied atop the leaderboard with 8 under. Happy Thursday. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie with Jay Johnson.
With you 1 mile at a time during the afternoon drive. Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Third hour of the show today. Cattles and Ramie. No Ramie. Ramie's in L.A. on vacation. He'll be back next week. I apparently will not be on the air next week. Taking a vacation week.
And that's dope.
Yeah.
Trying to be like you when I grow up, Nick.
Going to Tahoe and then coming back. We'll have a few more days off.
Man, when you go to Tahoe, this is your second or third time to Tahoe?
This will be my second.
Attaboy. Now, are you Airbnb in it, hoteling it? How you doing?
Hoteling it.
Oh, boy.
Staying at the same hotel we were at last time.
Okay.
When I find a hotel that I like or am comfortable with, I tend to go right back to that one the next time.
Okay.
I don't like messing around with different hotels. I never know what you're going to get. And I'm very picky, as you know. Everybody knows I'm very, very picky.
Nah, I didn't know that.
So, I hope for quiet. I hope for clean, which we all hope for.
Very true.
So there's a few things. There's a few things that I look for.
Are you a beach guy? You jump in the water?
I enjoy the water.
Okay.
I swim like a rock, so I don't swim often, but I enjoy like being in the ocean and stuff. When I lived in Virginia Beach, I'd jump in the ocean every once in a while.
Oh boy.
Beach guy, not necessarily. Like, I'm not one of those people that just hangs on the beach. Like Kelly can do that. Kelly can spend all day on the beach. I get bored.
Me, I'm with you.
I get way too bored sitting there doing nothing but baking in the sun and, read a book. No. I'm gonna read a book while I melt. I'll read a book at the house in the air conditioner.
It's so nice, and the sand in between your toes.
Yeah, that's Kelly.
The crash of the ocean.
Kelly, all about reading a book. I'm gonna sit there for 5 hours and read a book on the beach.
I'm with you, Nick. I grew up in San Diego. Beach is a little bit overrated. At this point.
Now, if you're telling me that there's some volleyball involved and there's music and stuff and beverages, then I'm cool with the beach.
Ah, boy.
But call you Top Gun. You're a maverick.
You watch out, girl. Watch out. All right, let's get back to this Bradley Beal conversation. So Shams Charania earlier today tweeted out that the Kings have spoken with the Wizards about Beal. He said that as of right now, there does not appear to be a clear pathway for the two sides to agree on something. But he used right now. He also mentioned that Bradley Beal would be open-minded coming to Sacramento. He has a no-trade clause, so that does mean something this time around. So when we look at this team, JJ, since the end of the Warriors series, we've been saying, at least I've been saying, and I believe Ramie agrees with this, and I believe you agree with it as well, the Kings have to improve. Build off of what you did this past season. Don't run it back 1 through 8. I don't think that's going to be enough for you to take that next step. So improve. Don't run it back with Harrison Barnes and just be happy and content with that. So that's how I've looked at these things. And, you look at some other people, they might disagree with that. They might not like that idea of change because of chemistry and what you were able to accomplish this year. But Bradley Beal, the fact, JJ, that we're talking about Bradley Beal, the fact we're talking about the Kings being on the phone with the Wizards, what does that do? How does that impact your expectations for this summer?
It lets me know that they're looking to play ball and take the necessary steps to go win a championship, be better, not settle, as you said, not be content, as you talked about earlier in the show. And I think they see an opening and they're going to try, they're striving to take the necessary steps to maybe, dethrone the Denver Nuggets, which, again, I know it's super, super fresh. It just happened the last couple of days. But to me, the impact of going to get a guy like Bradley Beal relays the message that the Kings are for real.
Yeah.
They don't want to just sit back. They're not happy with what they have accomplished within the last year, and they see an opening for a little bit of more. They're shooting. It's like a shooting star. We've got the best arena. We're looking for the best team.
Yeah.
We've got the best, I'm going to say gimmick, but the best post-game, celebration with the beam. And now we're looking for the team to match that. We believe we have, the best fans. So now we're looking for the best team to match that. And I think they're saying to everyone out here, and Kings fans and the NBA, and they're putting the NBA on notice. Look, we're trying to win. We're not trying to stay the same. We don't want to just run it back. We're looking to do bigger and greater things, Nick. And I'm just excited to even hear the Kings be in that conversation.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, that's the biggest thing with all of this is like, man, the Kings aren't happy. They aren't.
It's a great thing.
And it's not in the fact that they're not happy with what they already have or what they've achieved. They're saying we're not happy and being content in those things.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, it's a huge thing.
So my expectations after this tweet from Shams, they've gone through the roof.
Yes.
My expectations, I would say, was somewhat tempered, not because I didn't think that Monty would try to make a significant deal, and not because the Kings didn't have money. They do have, around $20 million in cap space. But the idea that Bradley Beal is open to waiving that no trade clause to come here, the fact that Monty was not looking for a third guy necessarily, you could argue that Bradley Beal would be your 2 and Domas would be your 3.
Right.
So the level of player that we're looking at possibly joining the Kings might be higher than I thought, might be better than I thought. You're willing to deal the assets. You're willing to deal for Bradley, right? So you're willing to deal some assets. You are superstar hunting.
Yes.
You're all-star hunting.
That's for sure.
You're not talking guys who are mid. You're not going to go out there and get you're not looking for a slight upgrade over Harrison Barnes. You're looking for somebody who's going to make a mark. And we've been talking about some guys, right? We've been talking about the Nas Reeds of the world. Monty's not looking for a Nas Reed.
No, those are fill-ins for him.
I would love Nas Reed.
I would
and
too.
I think it would work for this team very, very well with his game. But Monty, what this tells me is if your expectation was, hey, look, we're going to go out there, find Nas Reed, sign him because he's a good fit next to Domas. He might cost us 18 to 20 million, but we think it's worth it. That's not what they're thinking. They're thinking, let's beef this thing up. If we can get a number 2 guy, then let's do it. If we can get a number 1 guy, they might want to do. So the expectations where they were, I would say a few days ago, money is not going to be a deterrent, and they are looking for a star.
It's funny when you put this question because, and I probably should have said this, the expectations of the team have definitely changed. The expectations for me personally have, as you said, went through the roof.
Yeah.
If you're looking for Bradley Beal, then I'm looking for Michael Porter Jr. I'm looking for Andrew Wiggins. I'm looking for Bam Adebayo.
Yep.
I'm looking for guys like that. I know he's not so high on your list, but Chris Middleton. I'm looking for known factors in the NBA and guys who have won a championship, on the cusp of winning a championship, all-star, multiple all-star caliber, top 30 guy in this league. For me, if you come back with a Nas Reed, which I love Nas Reed, I think it works. But I guess my next piece is I'm looking for the guy to almost supplant De'Aaron Fox, which is, I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes your 1 and 2 got to be almost interchangeable unless we're talking about a top 10 guy. And for me, that's what I'm looking for now is give me a top 15, top 20 guy and let me almost argue that De'Aaron Fox is interchangeable with that person.
All right, so now that Bradley Beal has been linked to the Kings with this report from Shams Charania, how has that changed your expectations? Have your expectations changed? For the good, for the bad? How do you feel? I think I'd imagine all of you feel better about your expectations and what could be possible this offseason after seeing this. They're in on a legit star. There might only be 2 or 3 big names dealt this offseason. Beal's one of them. And the Kings placed a phone call. So how has that changed your expectations? 916-339-1140 is the text line. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. You can also check us out, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. And when you swing on by, make sure you give us that like. Your thoughts on the expectations for this offseason now for the Kings after we get this Beal tweet from Shams Charania. Also, John Fisher, Rob Manfred continue to embarrass themselves. We're going to call them out in 90 seconds.
The 123rd U.S. Open Golf Championship takes place at the Los Angeles Country Club, and Sactown Sports has you covered.
The U.S. Open, the tournament that I'd like to win, after having so many good opportunities.
Tune in from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursday, June 15th and Friday, June 16th for leaderboard updates and analysis.
Sactown Sports coverage of the U.S. Open is brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
And Ramie.
on Sactown Sports.
You still have plenty of thoughts on Bradley Beal. That tweet from earlier today from Charania. The Wizards and the Kings talking about Bradley. Great news for the Kings. Even if you don't necessarily like or love Bradley Beal, it's great news, at least from this person's vantage point, because you're in on the conversation. To go back to all the ESPN moments over the last few months, all the conversation about the Kings. I've been talking about this from early on this past season, JJ, that the more you're talked about, the better. The reputation builds. The excitement builds. Players are open to play for you. And if the worst case scenario coming out of this Shams tweet today is that other NBA players see it and they think to themselves, well, Beal's open to go to Sacramento. Why aren't I thinking about it?
Come on.
I want to be with you everywhere.
There you go, Simone. Sing it to him. So we'll get back to all the Bradley Beal stuff. But it's time for JJ and I to roast some marshmallows.
Come on now.
On the heads of John Fisher and Rob Manfred.
Yeah. Can I throw Dave Cavill in there too?
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
Got to get all three.
Come on.
Yeah, thank you.
So Manfred and Fisher especially are spectacular at making themselves look awful. And in the last 24 hours, they have done just that. Laura Albanese from Newsday tweeted out yesterday, because it's the owners' meetings yesterday, right? A's owner John Fisher declined to comment while leaving the owners' meetings at Midtown headquarters. She followed that up with this tweet. Fisher said he had something he had to do and could not speak when I approached. Left the building, came back with a drink minutes later.
Come on, man.
And returned upstairs.
Come on, man.
I got something to do. Apparently his something to do was to get a soft drink.
That is the laziest
Dude.
excuse, man. He didn't even try and fake it. He didn't even try to no comment. Just lazy.
Completely ducking the media.
Has been for years.
Zero accountability, zero responsibility, chicken bleep kind of stuff, which is not a surprise, JJ, from John Fisher.
Liar. Thief. A con artist. A crook. Man, dude's a pirate, man. Like, he has literally hijacked the Oakland A's and the hearts of the Oakland A's fan. Seriously, Nick, like, to the point where, and I said this months ago on this very show. When is John Fisher going to say something? When is he going to talk?
Apparently never.
Never. When is anyone going to make owners talk during owners meetings, free agency, draft, a championship, albeit, something goes wrong. The Coliseum, or whatever it's called at this point, has been in shambles for decades. Easy.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep.
He's never spoken about it.
No.
Show me anywhere where this guy has a quote about what's going on at the Coliseum.
Slumlord.
Straight up slumlord.
And when you try to call his phone, if he picks up, he gives you the, new phone, who dis?
Yeah.
Or he's just gonna send it right to voicemail.
Which
Zero accountability.
Man, this dude took over the San Jose Earthquakes, and they were a proud franchise at one point in time, Nick. They won championships in the MLS in 01 and 03. Guess what they've done since? That'd be nothing for the most part. Zero.
And if it's not bad enough that he's ducking the media
That was in 06.
to get a Diet Pepsi or whatever the hell he was doing. I can't talk to you right now. I got to go to a Starbucks. So then the A's send out a press release.
Come on, man.
On the passing of the bill yesterday for the public funding for the stadium down in Vegas. Here's what the press release reads. Tonight, we thank the members of the Nevada State Legislature and their staff for their hard work, due diligence, and attention to detail as we work to bring the athletics to Las Vegas. We are especially grateful for the legislators' time and dedication to shepherding this bill through the process, including the special session. We look forward to Governor Lombardo's signature as our next step. No mention of gratitude towards the city of Oakland. No mention of gratitude towards the fans that you just have crushed by doing this. No thank you for the time that you invested into this franchise as a fan. No. Thanks to the legislatures down there in Nevada for continuing this crime that we're committing upon Oakland A's fans in that area. Thank you very much. We have gratitude for you. But the people who paid for tickets when the team was good and root for this team and love this team like JJ, you know what? We're not going to include you in the press release. We're just looking forward to the next step as we get closer to Vegas.
On top of that, I haven't checked since. Someone check for me, and I'll do it. I hate to. At this point, Nick, I don't even want my IP address to even show that I've checked in on the Oakland A's right now. That's how bad it is. But they hadn't tweet since this morning, since the fourth inning yesterday on their Twitter. I don't know if it's changed again. I don't even want the IP address to even show. But it just goes back to the whole point of it. And one thing I've learned in life is you don't count another man's pockets. You don't count another person's pockets, right?
Yep.
I don't need to know what you're making. I don't care how you do it, whatever. But this dude got the inside track to life, man, and he got the inside track to buying the Oakland A's because one of his best friends was Bud Selig's college roommate. If we go back and pinpoint some of the things that we've seen over the years, I mean, we can even talk within the last couple of years. We have possums, wild animals.
Yes.
In the Coliseum.
Feces.
Yes.
We also had feces.
Bad pipes, broken pipes.
Concrete falling on your head.
Disaster.
I mean,
while Major League Baseball sat on their ass and watched it.
Dude, you've tarped the top of the Coliseum.
It's outrageous, JJ. And if Fisher doesn't get you angry enough, I'm really going to try to test you to make sure that you won't swear in the next minute.
Yeah.
After we share Rob Manfred's thoughts. Here's what Manfred said about Oakland fans. This is Manfred's version of whatever Fisher can do, I can do better.
Man.
I can top your awfulness.
I thought this was fake.
I hear from him. I feel sorry for the fans in Oakland. I do not like this outcome. I understand why they feel the way they do. I think the real question is, what is it Oakland was prepared to do? There is no Oakland offer, okay? They never got to a point where they had a plan to build the stadium at any site. And it's not just John Fisher. The community has to provide support. At some point, you come to the realization it's just not going to happen. So the community is supposed to show support for a terrible product, a terrible stadium, and a terrible owner. They're supposed to just bend over backwards and show up.
Yeah.
Here's what Manfred said about the reverse boycott the other night. I mean, it was great. It is great. It is great to see what is this year almost an average Major League Baseball crowd in the facility for one night.
Come on, man.
That's a great thing.
Sick.
Let me tell you something. As a proud Oakland A's fan, the Oakland A's used to be a entertainment piece for Northern California for years. Nick, you've heard people come on this station to talk about dollar hot dogs, dollar ice cream day, dollar drink day.
Yep.
For the longest, I would always go to the A's games on Father's Day, which is coming up. That was one of my big things. It's many times going to the Oakland A's, facilities, talking about the drummers out, in the outfield.
Yep.
We're not even going to talk about the fact that one of the first things I always remember as a kid is running the bases on Sundays at the Oakland Coliseum. I mean, jumping off the BART, walking over the bridge and straight to the game, one of the easiest things to do.
Yep.
Baseball, Rob Manfred, and I'm a throw in the Giants because I got to throw my Giants hate in there.
Okay.
They have they're scoundrels, Nick. They have ripped the Oakland A's apart for the last 25 years, bit by bit, a person by person, like just tearing pieces of paper all day. And then you got the clown like Dave Cavill jumping out in front. And I know he comes on the station, but dude, you a showman. You a step and fetch it. You tap dancing in front of people and trying to make it like we don't know what's really going on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
One of the things where they had open door policy. Look, there's a belief in this, Nick, is when you were the program director, when you told me, Jay, you could come in here and talk to me at any point in time, I believed it. You know why? Because when I did, you closed the door no matter what you were doing. You took the time and opportunity to have that conversation.
Right.
Man, Dave Cavill wasn't with that. If you got open door policy, you don't make it one day for a 3-hour block.
They're going to pee on your sneakers and tell you that it's raining. Like they don't care. They don't care.
Man.
They had one mission, get a team to Vegas. And they let John Fisher run this organization into the ground, run the franchise into the ground, so it made it easier to go to Vegas. That was the whole point. And for Manfred to circle back and blame the community, blame the fans,
man,
instead of the rotten owner, instead of blaming himself in Major League Baseball, allowing this Travis Sham mockery to freaking continue in Oakland for as long as it did. That's embarrassing.
Repugnant.
And then he taps everybody on the head who went to the reverse boycott. Tapping you. Oh, that was nice. That was great.
Just condescending with the reverse boycott, which is insane.
So pompous, so condescending, so gross, so embarrassing, so ridiculous, so disgraceful, so sorry.
Has anyone heard John Fisher talk? I'm still waiting.
He stinks. Manfred stinks.
Still waiting.
Fact.
Only words he says is, I'm got to go do something. Come back with a coffee.
Dave Cavill jumped straight out in front. Man, let me take care of that for you, John. Man, I'm telling you.
What a joke.
I never thought, and this was my fault, and I blame myself for this. I remember when the Oakland Raiders were done. It was over. The clock had struck 12, and I remember asking Raider fans, people in this building, would you jump ship and lean with the shield more or less than the city?
Yeah.
And it was very interesting to hear people, their answers to, once a Raider, always a Raider. And then you had some guys like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Took my childhood, too many dreams, memories. And now looking in that mirror and having to look myself in it, Nick, it's tough, man. I'm like, I don't
know what I would do.
Yeah, I'm out, man. I'm out.
I don't know what I would do. Who's to blame coming up next?
The King season might be over, but Sactown sports coverage never stops.
Returning is honestly my number one priority. Be a part of something special.
Stay tuned all off season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
At Wells Fargo, if you accidentally overdraw your account, we give you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with an extra day?
Sunday night and I have the Sunday scaries.
Honey, don't be scared. Every weekend comes with an extra day now.
All right. TGI Sunday.
It helps to have an extra day. When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getextra to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to timing requirements and the bank's funds availability policy. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
You've heard all of his greatest hits.
And now's your chance to see Grammy-nominated multi-platinum singer-songwriter Gavin DeGraw live at Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville. Get your tickets now to see Gavin DeGraw Friday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. Only at Gold Country Casino Resort. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friends at Amy's Outdoor Living, now in Sacramento and El Dorado Hills. They're your grilling headquarters with smoking hot deals. Get it? Smoking hot deals on Traeger, Weber, Big Green Egg barbecues, plus the professional grade Gosney pizza ovens for Father's Day. That's right, for Father's Day, not dads and grads. Father's Day. Save up to $600 on Traeger Timberline models. Save up to $100 on Weber Genesis. Stop in and see all the in-store offers they have. And oh, by the way, free setup and delivery, which is a huge help. Save up to 40% on select in-store patio furniture and umbrellas. Their umbrella shipment just arrived with many colors, sizes, and shapes. It's all at Amy's Outdoor Living, El Camino near Watt, and inside Amy Ace Hardware in the El Dorado Town Center. Just tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Oh, God, he's back.
Who's back?
The clown.
The naked one?
Yes, Giggles. He just drove on the lot in a new Kia.
Does he want to trade it in?
No, he wants to show it off.
Isn't he showing off enough? Oh, here he comes.
See what Elk Grove Kia did for me? That's service. That's why they got my business, not you.
Yeah, I think we've already seen too much of your business. Thank you.
Elk Grove Kia. Great service for everyone.
Elk Grove Kia has never made it easier for you to show it off. Like the hottest all-electric EV in the market, the luxurious EV6. Save big with lease specials of $10,000 below MSRP. Not just one or two, but every EV6 in stock. Don't worry about credit. No credit, bad credit, charge-offs, repos. Don't worry. Our team has over 100 years of experience. Others say no. Elk Grove Kia says yes. Get your EV6 today at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or elkgrovekia.com and show it off today.
Elk Grove Kia.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. Could Wizards All-Star Bradley Beal be dealt to the Sacramento Kings? Charania and Sam Amick of The Athletic highlighted this enticing speculation this afternoon. Head to SactownSports.com right now for more information. Mirroring the very rules of baseball itself, Oakland Athletics are essentially one strike away from relocation. The disheartening count revealed itself yesterday after Nevada legislature jointly approved public funding for the Las Vegas Stadium deal to uproot the A's out of Oakland. Tampa Bay Rays beat Oakland 6-3 on Wednesday night, snapping the A's 7-game winning streak. Finally, the 123rd U.S. Open is underway at the Los Angeles Country Club. Your live leaderboard standings are provided, of course, by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele back in the clubhouse and tied atop the leaderboard with 8 under, while Brian Hamron and Roy McIlroy tied in the third. Happy Thursday. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie with Jay Johnson.
Who did what and why? Who are you pointing the finger at?
It's not whether you win or lose. It's how you place the blame.
It's who to blame.
On Cattles and Ramie.
Who we blaming for that headline, Simone?
Simone's not with us. She's hiding under the table here.
It happens to the best of us. It's
Not
all
even
good.
lying. She is legit under the table right now.
It's all good. It's all good.
You know, I'm working on a bunch of things right now because I'm going on vacation. So I'm not giving my full everything. And I apologize for that.
I was just gonna say, JJ didn't have his mic
check.
But don't John Fisher us.
Yeah,
Okay,
come
I
on,
won't.
John Fisher.
Okay.
Mic check.
I'm back.
Don't do that.
It was Brian Harmon, too, was the name that got her.
I
didn't know what the hell she was trying to say.
Brian Harmon. I got it now.
JJ was saying it for you in here too. He's like Harmon.
Harmon. Brian Harmon. I got it now.
Harmon.
Thank you, everyone.
I went the longest time not being able to say Phil Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson.
That name drove me crazy.
Too many L's?
And
Phil Mickelson.
Jovan Buha.
Got it, yeah.
I screw his name up every time.
And I was helping Nate with Schauffele, so it just, it all goes around.
Jovan Buha.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right. JJ is not happy about several things.
Yes.
But he is certainly not happy about Team USA, men's basketball.
Oh, man.
So here's the roster as of right now. This was from, I don't know what it was from. Assorted writers, I'll say. That'll make sense in a minute. So the FIBA World Cup coming this offseason. And there's a few months left to prepare. Team USA beginning to take shape. Charania reported that 5 players are among the first to commit to playing for Team USA this summer. Austin Reeves, JJ, one of his favorites. If you haven't listened to the program, you know how much love JJ has for Austin Reeves.
Love him.
You see, you got new sneakers.
I do. What a company I've never heard of.
7 figures on his deal with a Chinese sneaker company.
JJ knocking the hustle over here.
No, get it how you live, brother. Now, look, one thing I'm not going to do is get it how you live.
So Austin Reeves, Anthony Edwards, Bobby Portis, Tyrese Halliburton, and Mikal Bridges are the first 5 guys to commit. Mark Stein first reported that Jalen Brunson had joined the list of commits. Adrian Wojnarowski added that Jaren Jackson Jr. and Brandon Ingram have also signed up to play. Woj subsequently reported that Walker Kessler will play, as will Nets wing Cameron Johnson. So that's 10 roster spots down. USA still has 2 to go. The Athletic reported that Desmond Bain and Alex Caruso were among players that Team USA had recruited.
Bald Mamba.
Though it's unclear if they will ultimately make the team. JJ, you're not a fan of this roster. Who do you blame for this roster?
Well, I blame the success on Dream Team number 1.
Yes.
For sure. I blame the first time managing director, Grant Hill. And I blame all the NBA superstars in the league because it's almost become a laughable joke unless it's an Olympic year for you to take part on the USA team. And we've seen this story written a few times. And it's all good, fine, and dandy, Nick, until we lose. And then when we lose, we're all looking at ourselves and we're all looking around and we're all in a group and we're all trying to figure out how we lost. And then we come up with different excuses. Well, the world's caught up with us. Half the guys that's playing on other international rosters, they're in the NBA anyway. And we start to kick around excuses and, all this type of stuff. We've been knew that. That was years ago, 1992. We knew that. Almost my full entire life, Nick. We know the NBA's been, we know international players have caught up to us. Most people believe Nikola Jokic is the best player in the league right now.
Tough to argue after that postseason run.
I just can't understand how we're strapping our boots down and we're sliding to the FIBA games with guys like my favorite guy, Austin Reeves. Nick, I love him.
That's your
Absolutely,
boy.
man. Come on now. I mean, I'm all in with Austin Reeves.
I blame all the other countries. Blame everybody else. Blame all of you countries playing their pros. We had to play our pros. Limited the pool. We just should play college kids. Get the kids from university.
Yes.
That's from Europe and all the other places in the world. I have trouble blaming the players here in the U.S. because, I have trouble blaming the guys who have done it already. Like I don't expect somebody who already took their summer and played in the Olympics and especially won gold. I get it. Like, hey, I've done it for my country, and now I want to take the summer off and whatever. I'm not saying that's what I would do, but that's. I mean, we're in the era of load management. We're going to ask these guys to play multiple Olympics.
So you're going in with Walker Kessler?
Walker Kessler, baby, let's go.
Bobby Portis?
I want to know how
Alex Caruso, Nick.
He's the 12th guy on the bench if he's
starting.
He better not start. I think they got some talent, JJ. They got some talent. Anthony Edwards, he's really good.
Jalen?
Hallie?
Yep.
Bridges?
Cam Johnson?
Jaren Jackson?
I like Triple J.
How serious do you think these other countries are going to be in the FIBA World Cup this time around?
Dead serious. They always are.
Well, the USA sent Tatum and Booker and a couple other people, and they finished 7th last time.
Well, this is what they do. They send the younger people to FIBA to try to season them before you go to the Olympics.
Right.
It's like
almost
the
like
trials.
A tryout. Right.
So,
but why not do that with, if that's the case, let's put like we used to, let's put a cap on it. Anyone over 21 years old, have only been out of college for less than 2 years, something like that. I'd rather see that than, Brandon Ingram, good ball player. Anthony Edwards is like, we know what we're getting at with A-Ed at this point. Brunson's 25. Like, if that's the case, just give me some Brandon Miller, Scoot Hendersons, the Thompson twins.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
like
at all. I wouldn't mind at all. Like I said, go young. But the problem is that all these other countries, they got 35-year-old guys out there smoking a carton of cigarettes before the tip, and then,
you're going to end up with a bunch
drinking a
of
12-pack after the game.
They're in bowling leagues.
Put your hand on your chest. Those kind of guys.
Couldn't you go get the international guys? Like we heard Isaiah Cannon plays with our guy Sasha over in Europe. Couldn't you get those guys?
Who the hell is Isaiah Cannon?
Is that Baylor?
That's Dave Chappelle joke.
Right, I know. But I'm just, man, Nick, just give me, I don't need guys like Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., mixed with guys like, I like Walker Kessler. I actually think he's going to be pretty decent. But,
I mean, he did work on the Kings.
Yeah, he abused the Kings the last game.
I was at that game.
I was too.
Yeah, I think I saw you.
I did see you.
You brought me down to your expensive seats.
No, that wasn't me.
From my nosebleeds.
Nah, you're lying on me because that wasn't me. I didn't have expensive seats.
I was able to hang around with the King for a couple minutes.
Who was that? Slamson?
Then I had to go back. I had to go back up top with the plebeians.
Nice. Great.
You had all the family and friends out that weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a good time. It's a good time. Team USA.
Man, FIBA.
Go USA.
Yeah, it's
we have a wild story about somebody faking their death. Wild story, and it's coming up next.
Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by R.C. Willey Home Furnishings.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mainly clear tonight. A delta breeze will cool us off to the upper 50s by morning. Tomorrow will be sunny and warm with highs in the low to mid 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
New flooring instantly updates a room. RC Willey has an incredible selection of carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate. Their experts will help you find the perfect floor for your home and schedule a free in-home measure. Shop RC Willey in Elk Grove or Rockland today.
It's almost the 4th of July, and you know what that means. One of the biggest grilling parties you can throw all year. Hey, it's Nick Cattle suggesting you celebrate your 4th of July the right way with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Our Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned us into pros. Napoleon grills are all made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills, now is the time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories. Get ready for the 4th of July.
For nearly 20 years since Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course opened near the banks of the Sacramento River, it's been Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Perry Dye of the famous Dye family of golf course architects designed the course to be an easy walk, but motorized carts are available as well. You and your friends of all abilities will find Bartley Kavanaugh featuring a brand new tap room is a great place to play golf. After your round, relax on the outdoor veranda, overlooking the course with a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit BartleyKavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. See all our inventory and specials at AcuraofStockton.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. One of the byproducts of the A's good play recently has been that three pitchers earned their first major league wins within a span of less than 2 weeks. Lucas Erceg against Atlanta May 29th. Hogan Harris against the Pirates on June 7th. Luis Medina June 9th against Milwaukee. And Ken Waldichuk earned his first save by blanking Tampa Bay for 3 innings, beginning the most recent homestand. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
It's Thunder Valley's $20,000 20th anniversary cash giveaway. 5 winners on Friday and Saturday nights in June. One very lucky guest wins $20,000 guaranteed. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
The story's wild. First, text line wanted to help out Simone. They texted 916-329-1140. It's Harmon, Simone.
It's Harmon. I know that.
It's Harmon.
Do they know that? I know that.
It's Harmon.
You didn't know that 15 minutes ago.
Harmon.
I will say that's not a very difficult name to mess up several times.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what.
So after we addressed it on air, we went back for like 3 minutes and played it back for Simone just so she could feel better about messing it up.
What was the mess up part? Was it?
I don't know.
Did you say like Harnum? Is that?
Yeah, and then I was like stumbling because I'm stumbling, and like I rushed over here, and yeah, it was not my finest moment, but we're here, and it's Harmon for everyone to know.
So all the Austin Reeves fans right now, his Sniper 2 basketball shoe is on sale for $90 if you want to go get that.
You're still on one about Reeves. Man.
Rigorer is the name of the brand.
Okay.
I don't know if he deserves all the smoke that you sent his way.
I'm just saying, man.
Poor man. All he does is just play basketball.
He does. I'm hating.
Seems like a good guy.
Oh, yeah. Personally, I have nothing against him. I'm just saying on the court, I don't know. And these rigorers, yeah, whatever it is, you can go get them right now on sale. $90.99.
There you go.
And they're in white, pink, and teal.
All right, we got to get to a couple wild stories. Alien update. We got an alien update coming up in a couple minutes. But this is from the New York Post. A Belgian man pulled off the prank of a lifetime when he faked his own death, showed up to his funeral by stepping off a helicopter instead of being carried out of a hearse. TikToker David Burton along with his wife and children, decided to orchestrate the pseudo-side to prank loved ones and see who actually cared about the 45-year-old. The fake funeral, which was held near the city of, I don't know how to pronounce that, last weekend, was attended by dozens of friends and family members dressed in black, waiting for the ceremony to begin until they were met with a landing helicopter, and this dude stepped out. First, this is the ultimate 2023 TikTok move, isn't it?
Man.
Like, social media, this is the next level now. We're faking deaths, showing up in helicopters to put it on TikTok.
Dude, I'd be sick.
How angry would you be if you were one of these loved ones?
I just told you, Nick. I wouldn't even be angry. I'd be sick.
I might walk up and punch this dude in the face.
Depends how much money I'm getting in the inheritance.
I'd still punch him in the face.
Yeah, probably so.
I'd punch him in the face and say, whatever my inheritance was going to be, double it.
Yeah.
After this joke.
Man, I'd be...
Shows up in a helicopter and walks out like, here I am, everybody. I'd walk right up. Right in the face.
I'd probably have 3 or 4 different emotions at the point, like, oh, my goodness, you're still with us? And then, like you said, after that wore off, I'd probably be angry. Like you said, I'd probably, 2-step on them. And then after that, I'd probably laugh. How far have we come, man, to the fact where you're faking deaths?
What if nobody showed? Do you think he thought about that? And
yes.
He got out of the helicopter, nobody was there, and he was like, all right.
I think you said he coordinated it with his family. I feel like one of the children is texting him like, hey, maybe not the best idea. Maybe we got to abort the mission.
Dad, really?
No doubt, yeah.
Dad, you're going to do that? You're going to show up in a helicopter?
This is ridiculous.
If faking your death isn't bad enough?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Here's another question for you. If you went to the fake one, do you show up for the real one?
Ooh.
Or are you like, hey, man, I'm giving you one funeral in my lifetime. I'm showing up to one.
Ooh.
Depends if I'm still alive.
How do you believe that the next one is real?
The boy that cried wolf?
Can you possibly do this twice?
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Next time he's going to come out of a submarine. It's going to come out of the water.
Oh.
Hey!
This sounds terrible, but I would probably say it depends on who that person is to me. If they're like my uncle.
Oh, I like that.
If they're...
What tier are they in?
Yes. What tier are they in?
If it's tier 1, you go back.
If they die of old age, I'm going to need to see them in the hospital first.
Like third cousin through marriage, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm done.
And here's my final question before we get to the alien update. Is this bad juju for this guy?
Yes, absolutely.
Did he just set himself up to really die?
Absolutely. No way, no how.
Fake death show up in a helicopter?
Too much.
Now.
We could be reading about you soon.
Yeah.
And not the way you want us to.
No.
Yeah, knock on wood, prayers, whatever the higher being you believe in. Yes.
It feels like there's bad juju from
this.
Yes,
I wouldn't even touch it, Nick.
Ridiculous showman. All right, let's get to the alien update. Cattles and Ramie. No Ramie. He's on vacation. He's down in L.A. right now. Enjoying, I don't know if he's enjoying it. He's with his girlfriend and 2 other girls that he's never met. He's going to dinner tonight. Incredibly awkward for him.
That's not incredibly awkward.
And they're
this is Ramie we're talking about, though.
And he's also sleeping over this person's house that he's never met.
I'm sure they're a wonderful host.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're putting a little personal emphasis in there,
What
right?
if it was the shoe on the other foot? What if Emily was meeting up with Ramie's 2 guy friends, and they went out to dinner, and then she was staying with the guys? Would you trust the guys as much as you trust the women being really cool people and good people?
Yeah.
Of course not.
Liar!
Of course not.
Stop
what are you
lying,
talking about?
Simone. You hate men. Just admit it.
I don't hate men.
Just Nick.
Just me.
Yeah, just you.
For hate of the year. Let's get to the aliens. So we've talked about David Grush on the show plenty of times now. He's the intelligence officer who went on News Nation to share what he knows about aliens and spacecraft. Well, here's another claim. Grush claims the Vatican is aware of the existence of non-human intelligence and helped the U.S. retrieve a downed UFO from Italian dictator Benito Mussolini at the end of the Second World War. Grush has spoken out to say the U.S. has run a top-secret UFO retrieval program for decades, claimed the Vatican was involved in the first ever UFO crash. Grush said the first recovery of a UFO was in Magenta, Italy, in 1933, and it was held by Mussolini's Italian government until 44-45, when Pope Pius VII, that's 12th, tipped America off about it. 1933 was the first recovery in Europe, he told News Nation. They recovered a partially intact vehicle. The Italian government moved it to secure airbase in Italy until around 44-45. The Pope back-channeled that and told the Americans what the Italians had, and we ended up scooping it. Grush was then asked to clarify whether the Catholic Church was aware of non-human existence on Earth, and he replied, certainly. And on why his claim should be believed, he said, I have the credentials, and I was an intelligence officer. He added that UFO sightings in Italy during Mussolini's dictatorship are widely known.
I'll say this. There's a point in time you should stop when you're ahead. I think
Too much now, huh?
Yeah, it's too much information, too much going on. And when you put out so many things, it's easier for people to poke holes in your theory and your beliefs and your thoughts. Look, I'm not saying he's telling any lies. I'm not saying he's telling any truth. I'm just saying he should stop while he's ahead. The information that he dropped earlier on in the first, News Nation interview, I probably would have stayed there.
Too much makes you feel like there's a little something fishy going on.
I'm a little worried now, Nick.
So Mussolini was in on this.
Allegedly.
The Pope was in on this?
Allegedly.
And the Catholics.
Vatican?
Yeah, the entire
allegedly.
Catholic religion.
Yes, allegedly.
Allegedly.
The Catholics and the Nazis teaming up to fight aliens.
Oh my
Who would have thought? Here's the one thing I would say. The more he shares and the more people that are supposedly involved in this makes me feel like it's a lot less likely to be true. Because why is he the only one that has come out and said all of these things?
It's like that whole thing where for the moon landing
Money?
to have been fake, it would have taken like 200 people to keep a secret.
Yeah, like
Can't happen.
Don't we have like somebody in a journal somewhere or something? Like some Italian soldier or something wrote something somewhere?
Probably so.
But David Grush is the guy out of all this.
Well, we're living in a TikTok world, as we explained earlier in this segment with the man who faked his death.
Maybe the alien faked his death and showed up in his aircraft.
He's making me wary by the day. More and more conversation that he's letting, more and more tidbits and things that's coming out. I'm starting to believe, okay, the Pope, the Vatican, the government, everybody's in on it, which they may all be. I'm not saying
You never know, JJ.
You never know.
You're not saying they're involved, but you're not saying that they're not involved.
Absolutely. I'm putting nothing past the government, brother.
All right, we got a top story. Oh, by the way, I should do this, shouldn't I? Yes, I should. The Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Supposed to do that once an hour. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now I will tell you that the top story's coming.
Get all the latest 49ers news heading into the 2023 season on Sactown Sports.
I think Brock was smart, and we kind of facilitated that he met with a bunch of different surgeons. The hope is he's ready for the regular season. We'll take it as it comes, as we're doing. He's working incredibly hard, and the early returns are really good.
Sactown Sports, Sacramento's official home for 49ers football.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Wells Fargo gives you access to direct deposit funds up to 2 days early.
Plus, if you look at the X and Y axis.
What if everything came 2 days early? Like the weekend.
Well, that was a pleasant surprise.
You can't get everything early, but when it comes to direct deposits, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/get-early to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Not all direct deposits are eligible. Early availability is not guaranteed and may vary between deposits from the same payer. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Pain is not normal. Repeat, pain is not normal. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store. Does this sound familiar? It's the end of the workday and the pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back is unrelenting. Good Feet understands that you've likely already tried assorted remedies and solutions with no relief. And now you're pretty much resigned to living with the pain. But do not give in to the pain. Instead, come to the Good Feet store for their end-to-end 3-step arch support system. Good Feet is the nation's largest manufacturer and retailer of personalized arch supports. With arch supports in over 300 sizes, styles, and flexibilities, and an arch support specialist in each store. Come in today for a free no obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk around the store or around the center. Experience the comfort, balance, and support possible with the Good Feet system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now in Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. Could Wizards All-Star Bradley Beal be dealt to the Sacramento Kings? Charania and Sam Amick of The Athletic highlighted this enticing speculation this afternoon. Head to SactownSports.com right now for more information. Mirroring the very rules of baseball itself, Oakland Athletics are essentially one strike away from relocation. The disheartening count revealed itself yesterday after Nevada legislature jointly approved public funding for the Las Vegas Stadium deal to uproot the A's out of Oakland. Tampa Bay Rays beat Oakland 6-3 on Wednesday night, snapping the A's 7-game winning streak. Finally, the 123rd U.S. Open is underway at the Los Angeles Country Club. Your live leaderboard standings are provided, of course, by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele back in the clubhouse and tied atop the leaderboard with 8 under, while the incomparable Brian Harman sits in third with 6 under and through 10. Happy Thursday. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie with Jay Johnson. Top spot coming at you right now.
Did you miss the headline and the top story of the day?
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Don't worry, because we got you covered.
This is how we do.
It's the Cattles and Ramie.
Top spot.
All right, Ramie down in L.A. on vacation with his lovely girlfriend. JJ in Ramie's spot today as we give you the top spot, and it's got to be Bradley Beal. So Charania earlier today tweeted out another team that's had Bradley Beal trade talks with the Wizards, the Kings. Sources told Shams and our friend Sam Amick here at Sactown Sports. Shams continued to tweet, it's believed Beal would consider Sacramento given his no trade clause, but right now there does not appear a clear pathway for the two sides. I stress right now. Who knows if there could be down the road. There is some scuttlebutt about OG Anunoby. Looks like Toronto is likely to go young with the additions of the coaching staff that they've made. Kind of screams rebuild in Toronto.
Yeah.
So I think Anunoby is going to be available for sure.
About Pascal.
I think Siakam could be had. I think it all depends on how much you're willing to give up. So as far as the Beal stuff, JJ, you're totally in on Beal.
Yeah, sign me up right now, brother. And I would be one of the first people to be at the very first game and cheer and root on Bradley Beal. I think he checks all the boxes for the Sacramento Kings and what they're looking for. He's a perfect piece to fit into what De'Aaron and Domas and Keegan, what they present already. And for me, Domas' best aspect and factor of his game is passing. And I think that, sitting still and putting up jumpers from above the arc and beyond the arc is what Bradley does, the best. And I think he helps out De'Aaron because he's a creator as well. You put the ball in his hands, he can do work. And, you know, look, I know you're a big proponent of staying within the time frame of age brackets. You know, He's 30 years old. He's not 24. He's not 25. But the other thing that he also is he is borderline star. And I'm looking for that. And I'm looking for someone that, you know, is going to move the needle for me. And I know, look, Kyrie could move the needle, but I actually think Bradley can move the needle and be substantial in what the Kings are trying to do next year.
It's interesting because Bradley Beal is a 2. So would the idea of the framework of this trade have Kevin Huerter be sent out and Beal would replace Huerter? Would you move Huerter to the bench and try to hold on to him? I see a hard time for this deal to be put together if you're not including De'Aaron Fox or Domas. And that kind of just defeats the purpose.
Yep.
You want to add a third guy. And Bradley Beal, to me, would be the second guy. I don't think he'd be the third guy. I think Domas would slide down to the third guy. And I also think it tells us that Monty is going to do what Monty loves to do, which is look for shooting. You know, not to say that Bradley Beal is like a light the world on fire type guy throughout, you know, every single season of his career. But he has shot. I mean, when you look back, again, he had a really down season in 21-22. He only played 40 games. I don't think he was necessarily healthy. But he is a guy that throughout his career shot 37% from 3. He really was a really good three-point shooter from his rookie season through 2017-2018. And then he's hovered around 35% or so from 3 since then. But he is somebody that can knock a shot down. And he is also somebody that can play offense at all 3 levels, which I think is something that Monty is likely looking for this summer. Somebody who could bring some offensive versatility instead of just, you know, chuck and duck 3-ball guy. Can you create your own shot? And Bradley could do some of that. He could create some of his own shot. So we'll see. We'll see if this gets any more legs or not. But my biggest take from this, JJ, it's a big picture thing. It's not even just specifically Beal, because Beal, we're talking a lot of money. We're talking somebody, as you mentioned, who is 30 years old. Big picture stuff, the way I look at this. This is big. This is huge. This is very important. When you look at it from the Kings' point of view, if you're a Kings fan right now listening to us, which pretty much all of you are, number one, it tells you the team's not just happy with what they accomplished this year. They're looking to do more. They want to do more. They desire to do more. And they're going to put the effort into trying to do more. So having a team that is not content with just getting to the playoffs after missing the playoffs for 16 years is great. It also really supports, by the way, what Mike Brown has been saying. You know, Mike Brown has told us when he first met the players last year, he told them, we're going to make the playoffs. I'm not worried about the playoffs. The goal is a championship. And so I don't know if you've ever worked for a company that sends mixed messages, but if you're with the Kings right now, you've got your head coach saying the goal is a championship. And following along with that coach's thought process is the GM. The GM is willing to take a risk for talent. He's willing to go after a Bradley Beal, even though he already has 2 All-NBA guys on his roster. The owner, JJ, is willing to spend the money that it would take to put these 3 guys together. So what it tells me is that this organization, for so long not being on the same page for more than a decade, it feels like this franchise is lock and step with each other from the top on down, where the goal is a championship, the owner is willing to spend, the GM is willing to take a swing, and the coach is willing to tell his players and be transparent with them that the championship is the goal, not just the dang playoffs.
Yeah, the caliber of expectations, Nick, has risen for sure.
Yes.
And it seems like everyone is on the same playing field. They're all in the same room, and they all have the same idea. In many instances, I'm not saying it works all the time, but that's the start of it. You know, to win a championship, everyone has to be on the same page. We can't be writing in all the different pages of the book.
Yep.
We all have to be scribbling and coloring and drawing all on the same page to move the narrative further. And when you have conversations about all-stars, 3-time all-star, all-NBA caliber guys, you know, guys that's right in the prime of their career, like a Bradley Beal, knowing what he can bring to the table, lets me know they've had when we watch the War Room or we watch the Draft Room, when we watch, you know, teams during our offseason, anytime you go, you see a bunch of sticky notes and a bunch of names on the chalkboard or on the whiteboard, right? That lets me know if Bradley Beal's on there, that means Pascal Siakam's probably on there. If Pascal Siakam's on there, that probably means, you know, Zach LaVine is back on the page. And so I just really love how all three of those guys that you talked about, Monty, who just got his deal this year and was extended, and Mike Brown's lock and step with Monty, that they're going for the moon, man. They believe they have the foundation in guys like De'Aaron Fox, Domas, and Keegan to really win the championship. And we haven't always seen that here.
No. And you could also say, one last note before we get to some more local news here about the A's in a minute. One more thing you could say is that Bradley Beal has a no-trade clause. Not many guys in the NBA have that. He might be the only one, if not one of a couple. And he's willing to consider waiving his no-trade clause to come to Sacramento. So the days of guys not wanting to be here, the days of, the Kings, no way am I going to go to Sacramento. No shot of that. Those days are done with to a certain extent, up to a certain level. Bradley Beal and Dame Dollar are the two guys that everybody's talking about right now. They might be the two stars that get dealt this summer.
To Miami, according to everybody.
And one of them is like, I'm cool with going to Sacramento.
Ooh.
When they have options, like you said, Miami being one of them. That says a lot.
Nick, could you imagine Dame Dollar coming to Sacramento?
Jay's number one fantasy.
I could imagine it.
Oh,
I don't think it'll happen though,
Okay.
because him and Fox. All right. I could imagine almost anything. Here's the latest A's news from the Nevada Independent,
Pirates,
which slides into this top story perfectly. The governor has signed SB 1, so that is the final step from a legislation process. Governor Joe Lombardo signed SB 1 Thursday, according to the Nevada Independent, and of course, this is the bill that establishes the financial package of up to $380 million. So what you have now is you've got the governor who signed off on this. The final step, which is, I don't think, going to be a hard step.
Nope.
Is the owners. The owners okay this? What is it, Kyle, 70%?
75. So
75.
You need 23 of the 30 owners.
75%. So as long as you get 23 yeses out of 30 owners, the A's are Vegas bound.
You know what's funny, Nick, is do you think the Giants ownership says no?
I mean, they could. They could.
Maybe they abstain.
Wouldn't it be interesting if they were like, no? How would that make you feel, Nick? Knowing that they play
anything that keeps them from going to Vegas just to shove it down Fisher's throat and Manfred's, I'd love it. But this is all done.
Yeah.
But the Giants are also complicit in a lot of what's happened here.
Exactly. The fix is in.
Right. But
all of this would not be happening if Fisher didn't know that he had the votes.
Of course.
This is all happening because it's a fait accompli on the ownership level. And he knows that. And Manfred knows it because Manfred secures the votes and then tells Fisher, you got the votes, so let's move forward. It's over. It's over.
The only question is whether or not they'd waive the relocation fee or not.
No, they shouldn't, but they are.
Oh.
The same reason why they shouldn't be giving the Oakland A's profits over the last few years. Team sharing profits.
Say, all right, hey, look, you can move to Vegas, but you owe us $380 million.
I would love to see it. Would love to see it. That's why I wanted, even if Vegas did okay, which they have, I would have loved to see them play hardball and demand John Fisher
Oakland's,
have to put some more money on the floor.
the city council and all that stuff in Oakland, they're talking about pushing this into the court system.
Mm-hmm. Put the tape on them.
I don't think you do that.
No.
That just makes it more painful for A's fans.
True.
Just say la vie.
Just leave. Leave the A's name.
Yeah. Fisher's going to laugh last. That's what he's going to do. Make all of his money.
Las Vegas Spiders or something.
So gross. All right. This will be fun, I think.
Dude's a pirate, man.
So the Ringer has released their top 125 NBA players. It's list season, as Ramie says. And the Ringer has their top 125 list of NBA players. How did the Kings fare, and what do we think about it? 90 seconds.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking is going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
Greetings from M&S Auto on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. And a big thanks to our repeat customers for letting us be your favorite car dealer. Repeat customers make us proud. M&S customers know that they're going to find the car, 4x4, or SUV they want. They'll get treated like family and save thousands. Whether you're a repeat customer or a first-time buyer, welcome. M&S Auto, the intelligent car buying experience. MSAutogroup.com.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles.
And Ramie.
On Sactown Sports.
Text line 916-339-1140. As a Vegas resident, I will not support a team stolen from another market or John Fisher. That being said, baseball is declining in market share, and Vegas residents will most likely not support baseball, even with a smaller stadium. One can hope.
And I'll say thank you to that person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Fisher doesn't care because he's getting that revenue sharing money.
Man, he'll be gone within the next 2 years.
If Ramie was here, I know he would want to do this, but I'll do it instead. Let's give away some Dierks Bentley tickets.
Oh, Ramie's boy.
Ramie loves Dierks Bentley.
Yeah, he is. He said he'll be front row.
The Folsom Lake Honda contest line, 1-800-920-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Caller number 13, the contest line. Lucky number 13 will win a pair of tickets to check out Dierks Bentley at Harvey's Lake Tahoe. I'll be in Lake Tahoe in about 24 hours.
Attaboy.
Show's happening August 4th. So caller number 13, you're the lucky listener that gets the pair of tickets to go see Dierks Bentley, courtesy of Another Planet Entertainment. Again, hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline for your chance to win. 1-800-920-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Text line 916-339-1140. No deal on Bad Heel Beal. Wow, man, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
No deal on Bad Heel Beal. Kind of like it. Kind of like it. All right, let's stick with the Kings here, JJ. The Ringer released their top 125 list of NBA players. And, of course, now the postseason is over. The season is over. So this is what it's going to look like for the summer. And wanted to take a look at how the Kings fared in this. There are several Kings. There are several Kings in the top 125. Let's start with the first one, and I'm sure everybody could guess this one, although maybe not. Maybe some thought that the other guy, because you got two choices, maybe some of you thought the other guy would be the first that we mentioned here, but De'Aaron Fox, or as Mad Dog Russo called him this week, De'Arian Fox.
De'Arian?
De'Aaron Fox is at 17 on the list, JJ. 17th.
I like it.
Out of the top 125.
I like what I'm seeing. Right next to him is a bunch of runs. It was like the draft. You saw a bunch of point guards, just Donovan Mitchell, Ja Morant, De'Aaron Fox, and who was the other one I was in? Shai Gilgeous was a couple in front. Dame Lillard, Jamal Murray. They're all grouped, literally, from like 13 on to 18, all point guards. So he's in that mix. He's in, some people preferably going to say I'll take Shai Gilgeous. Some people are going to say I'll take De'Aaron. Some people are going to say I'll take Donovan. Some are going to take Jamal Murray. Some are going to take Ja Morant. They're all mixed up, but I like right where he's at, brother. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. And I know some people might say, oh, well, he was, an all-NBA guy, and how can you be outside of the top 15 when you went all-NBA? Well, that's a year-to-year thing.
Yeah.
And this list is more of a, projection kind of what you think this player is at this point and, what they might end up being. There's a little bit of a mix in there with that. But injuries, right? Like, would De'Aaron Fox have been all-NBA if everybody was healthy? I don't know. Would he made it, all-NBA if certain dudes didn't get hurt, if certain dudes
weren't waving pistols?
weren't waving pistols. So I'm fine with it. I'm fine with 17. So you're probably wondering where Domas is. Domas, JJ, is 20th.
Same thing. Pretty much all-NBA team, third team. He's right around that area. Again, we talked about James Harden. No way, no how is James Harden for me above Domantas Sabonis. But 20, I like it. I think it's on the uptick. I went to check after you had talked about the the pointing up arrow, so to say, and the pointing down arrow on which way they're looking towards. Both Domas and De'Aaron, they're stagnant. They have no arrow next to them. So that pretty much means they're there to stay. That's kind of where they're at right now. 20 works for me. How about yourself, brother?
Yeah, I wonder how much the Warriors series might have impacted this. Okay. You possibly would have seen Domas somewhere in the top 15, maybe at the end of the season, the regular season. But now, after the Warriors series, I do wonder if people are kind of a little hesitant to just automatically put him in the top 10, 15, somewhere in that range, right? So I have no issue with 20, though. I really don't. And here's the biggest takeaway. It's almost like the Bradley Beal conversation where we're talking about the specifics and the individuals, but big picture, JJ, this means that the Kings have two guys on their roster right now who are ranked in the top 20 across the NBA, according to the Ringer.
I love it. I mean, that means and that's why I went to look at the arrows, which way they were pointing. They didn't have an arrow next to each other, but I was very interested to see if, De'Aaron and both Domas, they're young. They're not 30 and they're on the upswing to me. And it seems like, as we heard over the last week here with all the ESPN, the 4-letter guys screaming the Kings, I thought maybe the Ringer, Kevin O'Connor, those guys over there would show us a little more love and put us on the upswing. But I'll take the 17 and the 20.
I enjoy Kevin O'Connor's work. I think he's really good. Yeah, we're not saying this before the season tips off.
No.
We're not talking about Fox and Domas being top 20 players in the NBA. We're talking about Domas maybe hovering around 30.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Fox maybe 35 to 40.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think of it that way, they took a really big step this year.
Sacramento Kings steady rising and rising and
That's
rising.
Right. That's right, Perk. So you have them individually stepping forward and improving. And, of course, you had the team improvement, which was a beautiful thing. All right, let's jump to some of the others. Kevin Huerter at 73. Whatever.
Kevin Huerter.
Just I shrug my shoulders. I'm not going down 80 players to see where and what.
It did not end well for
him. I mean, just off the top of my head, if you said Kevin Huerter was a top 75 guy, I'd put him at 100.
Well, they put Malik Monk at 121.
I'd probably push him up a little bit further, but,
yeah,
he's coming off the bench, and that's kind of tough because a bunch of these guys are starters too.
It's tough for me to, beef about 73 and 121. Honestly.
Yeah, but Monk and Huerter were pretty close to equals this year in terms of production.
Yeah, I mean, different roles, different. Hot and cold. Both guys ran hot and cold. I think Monk. I would say Monk probably had the better season when you consider his role with the team.
And postseason.
Finally, no Keegan Murray in the top 125.
Now, this is where I got a little action right here. Nick, I had to...
this is what gets your goat?
Yeah, I went ahead and put 124 guys to see if it was better than Keegan Murray. I made my list, but No, look, I went straight down to the bottom and looked at who was number 125, and I was Dylan Brooks. And when I first looked at that, I was like, okay, maybe Keegan ain't top 125. But then I went up to list a few more names and seen a few other names like Herb Jones of the Pelicans.
Your guy.
Yeah, okay. He outscored and Keegan outscored and grabbed more rebounds, shot a higher percentage from the floor and 3-point line. I mean,
eyes to yourself.
Yeah, we talking diving a little deeper, and we want to go into, all the true analytics like Seth Part now. Yeah, maybe I guess you could talk me out of that. But Keegan, in my eye, he's better, he's younger, on the surface, and me looking deeper, I'm taking Keegan. Kyle Lowry was in front of him. Keegan outscored him, out-rebounded him, played less minutes. Yeah. The other one for me, too, is Bogdanovich.
Your boy.
Come on, man. Stop it. Keegan is easily better than him.
See, people might say, oh, well, is it because Keegan's a rookie? No, there were 3 rookies on the list.
Yes, Walker Kessler was up there.
Paolo Banchero made the list.
60.
Jalen Williams made the list. And Walker Kessler made the list. So you had 3 rookies.
Which is fair because those were the top 3 finalists for Rookie of the Year, but Keegan's right there with them.
Yeah, you can't put Kyle Lowry and some of the other guys that JJ mentioned ahead of
Keegan. In an indirect way, they got rid of Bogdanovich to follow and get Keegan down the road.
Yeah, come on.
Herb Jones? I don't want to single out Herb Jones, but I mean, come on, dude. Better than Keegan? Dude broke a record. He's only been in the league. Stop it, man.
All right, we got the call back coming up next.
It was an amazing season for the Sacramento Kings. The Coach of the Year.
These honors don't come around often, and so you're very appreciative of them.
The Clutch Player of the Year.
Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
And a return to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years.
16 seasons of frustration. Sacramento has clinched the playoffs.
Keep it on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for all your Kings off-season news.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friends at Amy's Outdoor Living, now in Sacramento and El Dorado Hills. They're your grilling headquarters with smoking hot deals. Get it? Smoking hot deals on Traeger, Weber, Big Green Egg barbecues, plus the professional grade Gosney pizza ovens for Father's Day. That's right, for Father's Day, not dads and grads, Father's Day. Save up to $600 on Traeger Timberline models. Save up to $100 on Weber Genesis. Stop in and see all the in-store offers they have. And oh, by the way, free setup and delivery, which is a huge help. Save up to 40% on select in-store patio furniture and umbrellas. Their umbrella shipment just arrived with many colors, sizes, and shapes. It's all at Amy's Outdoor Living, El Camino near Watt, and inside Amy Ace Hardware in the El Dorado Town Center. Just tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Thunder. Feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
It's Thunder Valley's $20,000 20th anniversary cash giveaway. 5 winners on Friday and Saturday nights in June. One very lucky guest wins 20 grand, guaranteed. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Summer's here, and the deals are heating up at Fastener's Tool Outlet. You'll find scorching deals next Saturday on Makita Tools. Get 2 free batteries with the purchase of a circular saw kit and get $50 off any 40-volt tool kit. Fastener's Tool Outlet is turning up the heat on Makita Summer Savings next Saturday. Buy a 2-piece combo kit and get 2 extra free batteries. Come into Fastener's Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road, or on the web at fastenersinc.net.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. Could Wizards All-Star Bradley Beal be dealt to the Sacramento Kings? Charania and Amick of The Athletic highlighted this enticing speculation this afternoon. Head to SactownSports.com right now for more information. Mirroring the very rules of baseball itself, Oakland Athletics are essentially 1 strike away from relocation. The disheartening count revealed itself yesterday after Nevada legislature jointly approved public funding for the Las Vegas Stadium deal to uproot the A's out of Oakland. Tampa Bay Rays beat Oakland 6-3 on Wednesday night, snapping the A's 7-game winning streak. Finally, the 123rd U.S. Open is underway at the Los Angeles Country Club. Your live leaderboard standings are provided, of course, by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele back in the clubhouse and tied atop the leaderboard with 8 under, while the incomparable Brian Harmon sits in third with 6 under and through 12. Happy Thursday. Welcome back into Cattles and Ramie with Jay Johnson. Kyle, please hit that call back.
I'm going to light up these phone lines.
The phone is ringing, and we are checking to see who's on the line.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
News, gossip, a story.
Okay, who's the next victim?
It's the callback
on Cattles and Ramie.
All right, so earlier today, Cattles and Ramie, no Ramie, JJ in for him as Ramie enjoys Southern California this weekend.
The sand between the toes.
So we had Tabitha Mueller on earlier today from the Nevada Independent. And she was on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline, and we were talking about, obviously, this A's deal and the fact that the funding was passed by the Nevada State legislation, and whether or not that was surprising to Mueller. Here was her answer.
I don't think that it was a surprise that the public funding bill passed this week. I mean, we had seen a lot of discussions about it. I think it was a surprise that it had died in the regular legislative session. But as soon as the governor kind of brought it back and said this was kind of his priority for this second special session, I think it was from there, it was just kind of a matter of figuring out what the team would agree to, what the lawmakers would agree to, and kind of getting it moving forward.
Now, before we move it forward, and I ask you about Tabitha's answer, I want people to get a peek behind the curtain here and what just happened. So I was setting up the sound, and I stumbled. And so what I did was I went into the talkback, and I let Kyle know that I stumbled because when I looked in through the glass, he wasn't looking at me. There wasn't the, connectivity between producer and host. So I threw Kyle under the bus. Kyle quickly then threw Simone under the bus.
Threw me under that Muni bus. Oh, that was
so
terrible.
I'm waiting for Simone to somehow find a way to throw JJ under the bus, so we're all pointing fingers at each other.
No, what Simone should do is throw Christopher Lott under the bus, because Christopher Lott apparently gets mail to the station, and she was showing me a letter that was addressed to the champ, Christopher
Lott.
Lott.
Handwritten letter. It impressed me. I'm sorry.
Simone, can you let Kyle do his job?
I derailed the whole show.
No, I'm going to take accountability for this. I should have been locked on and had the chemistry with you.
Yeah. Yep.
Can't pronounce Harmon. Now
Harmon, I nailed it. 2 more times I nailed it. It was just a one slip of the tongue there. It was terrible.
So Tabitha wasn't surprised that the deal got passed. I wasn't surprised. Were you surprised?
No, sir.
No.
Absolutely
Come on now.
Not.
And we can update this for you.
Fix was in, Nick.
As we told you earlier in the hour, the governor has signed on for this. So it's passed. It's done. Now you need 75% of MLB owners to vote yes, and they will.
Yep.
And the A's will be in Vegas.
And the A's came out with a 2-sentence
this
media release.
This was like a hair across your tuchus.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is nonsense. I don't even want to. I told you, Nick, I'm trying to stay focused. I'm trying to do my job here. I'm trying to make sure I'm on point. I don't want you to get a phone call about my my language, my diction. And so I'm on point. Yeah, I am, man. I'm holding it in, brother.
All right, back to Tabitha Mueller, again from the Nevada Independent on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline earlier. The $380 million of this public funding,
man.
JJ asked Tabitha, where's that coming from?
Essentially what this deal is, it's $380 million in public financing is kind of what we're talking about here. $180 million of that is coming from the state in terms of transferable tax credits. You have some of that money also coming in the form of bonding and from the county, and then so transferable, and then just like a $25 million credit as well. And I think that what we're saying in terms of how these credits get paid back and the bonding is repaid is through tax revenue generated by the stadium. So let's say you go to the stadium and you buy a hot dog and you wear a baseball cap and you also buy a flag for the team. The taxes on those items would go to pay for the stadium, if that makes sense. And it would only affect the stadium.
So the taxes off the stuff they sell in the stadium.
Yep. You know what haunts me about this, Nick, is kind of what I talked about when it comes to, do you support the Shield or you support the team or you support the city?
Right.
People who are A's fans are still going to wear A's gear. And if you go to the game and you buy that supports the situation.
Yep.
That's the tough part about it.
Yeah.
It's like, look, take that, like I said, you guys become the Las Vegas Desert Spiders, Scorpions, or whatever y'all want to call yourself. Leave the A's brand here, and then let's really see if that money's going to come to fruition by, people going to buy the Desert Spiders, the Las Vegas Desert Spiders baseball.
The Las Vegas 51s.
I generally don't like when teams move to different areas and keep the name.
Yes.
It's just weird to me.
Yes.
I would rather reset.
Yes.
I really would. The
Sonics
Vegas
to the Thunder.
The Vegas Athletics are going to – it's just weird.
It's whack.
Yeah. And if I'm Vegas, it's your chance to have some ownership over the team if you're Vegas as well. Because if you're in Vegas and you're a baseball fan, we heard from a Vegas resident earlier on the text line that was like, I'm not going to root for them. Like we stole them from Oakland and John Fisher as the owner. I'm not gonna be rooting for that team. It would have been 100% better. Sarah said this yesterday. It would have been 100% better if baseball just said, okay, we're just gonna relocate you, but have a whole new brand.
Yep.
That's what you're gonna do.
Yep.
And they it's a debacle.
Leave
man.
the A's name alone, man.
It's a debacle.
I can't even wear now. I guess my question, Nick, can I even rock my A's gear anymore? Because I'm not down with the team. I'm not down with the movement. I'm not down with anything.
I honestly can't tell you what to do because I've never been in that situation. I don't know how I would react if one of the New England teams, one of the Boston teams left the area.
As someone who was in that situation a few years ago, you got to make that call for yourself, Jay.
What'd you do with the Chargers?
Did you rock the LaDainian Tomlinson anymore?
I had the Junior Seau growing up, not the LaDainian Tomlinson, but I am now a 6-year recovering Charger fan, and I'm a happier, healthier person because of it.
So does that mean you're still wearing the clothes or not?
Oh, no. Nope. Nothing disassociated with them. Stopped rooting for them. I'm a better human being because of it.
I got you. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the knowledge.
All right. We got one more for you from Tabitha Mueller of the Nevada Independent. Here's Tabitha explaining the financing and the lawmakers' thinking.
But I think one of the things that's also interesting about this is where they're putting the stadium, they're actually not going to have to pay the property taxes on that parcel of land. I mean, in addition to that $380 million that we're talking about, there's also, a lot of money that would be paid in property taxes that is not going to go back to the county, that is not going to go to the state, right? That's just money that the team or the stadium authority will not have to pay. As for the kind of financial aspects of this, lawmakers said in the assembly yesterday that this parcel of land that it's being proposed to be put on is a very valuable piece of real estate, right? It's on the strip. It's close to the airport to a certain degree. And that's also something that they're going to have to consider when they put in the stadium and lighting and that kind of thing. But it's something else would have been built there, is what the assembly member said. And so, I can't say whether or not this was the best thing that will go here. I think that there's been a lot of pushback on stadium deals recently. I mean, the former governor, Steve Sisolak, said, I can't remember when, but it was a while ago, that he would not support public funding for another stadium. He did change that a couple weeks ago and went back on that statement. So, I think time will tell.
Nick,
time will tell.
Nick, they aren't, and I was going to say this to Tabitha, but we let her ride. They're not paying property taxes because they don't even own the land. They're renting and leasing the land.
Yeah.
9 acres, which Oakland was ready to give you 55.
Yeah, Oakland shot back, by the way, because, Manfred was saying, Oakland never had an offer. And
yeah,
he and Fisher are just dumping on them. The mayor spokesperson, Julie Edwards, had the response, and this was from Sarah Ravani from the San Francisco Chronicle on Twitter. Here's what the spokesperson said. Totally false. There was a very concrete proposal under discussion, and Oakland had gone above and beyond to clear hurdles, including securing funding for infrastructure, providing an environmental review, and working with other agencies to finalize approvals. The reality is the A's ownership had insisted on a multi-billion-dollar 55-acre project that included a ballpark, residential, commercial, and retail space. In Las Vegas, for whatever reason, they seem satisfied with a 9-acre leased ballpark on leased land. If they had proposed a similar project in Oakland, we feel confident a new ballpark would already be under construction. Oakland showed its commitment to the A's, and that is why the A's belong in Oakland. So, i.e., you're full of crap, Manfred, and we all know it. The deal that you're cutting in Vegas is completely different than the deal you were asking from Oakland, and that's because you wanted to put Oakland in a spot where they would have a tough time delivering you a stadium so you could continue your plan and go down to Vegas.
Yep.
So scummy. It really is just so scummy.
I tell you, man, them cats, everybody that's in the town that is upper management for the Oakland A's, they have, no soul, brother. Just there's nothing there. There is nothing. And we've seen the rooted in Oakland, movement. We've seen, Dave Cavill. I mean, this dude for the last 2 or 3 years, that's all he's been talking about.
Yeah.
That's all he's been talking about. But now we don't even see none of these guys talking now. They dropping releases, media releases, paragraphs like an English class right now.
Oh, man.
Nothing oral. No one's sitting down. No one's taking interviews. No one's answering questions. All they're doing is writing.
This
writing.
Seems like a cash grab.
All right. We'll wrap things up next.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Every week, getting to talk to Kenneth Cornelius Thomas.
Oh my God, he busts out the whole name.
Hey, come on.
Special show. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to coming back next year. Hopefully, we can keep this going.
Yeah.
I enjoyed being on here with you. Nothing, dude. Don't make me reach through this phone, man.
You're in New Mexico. I can talk garbage.
Hey, I know where you live. I'll find out.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mainly clear tonight. A Delta breeze will cool us off to the upper 50s by morning. Tomorrow will be sunny and warm with highs in the low to mid 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to all the newest technology and an industry-leading warranty. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
It's almost the 4th of July, and you know what that means. One of the biggest grilling parties you can throw all year. Hey, it's Nick Cattle suggesting you celebrate your 4th of July the right way with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Our Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned us into pros. Napoleon grills are all made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills, now is the time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories. Get ready for the 4th of July.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, a bug, get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it
Over there.
are statistically
It's still alive.
unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. You know it's Jeep season. I keep hearing about the new Jeep Wrangler 4xE. Chad, do you have any deals this month?
Right now, you can lease a new 2023 Jeep Wrangler Sahara 4xE for only $379 a month for 36 months with $49.95 due at signing. That's a savings of up to $13,500, or you can save up to $92.50 off MSRP, plus get $37.50 in federal tax credits for a total savings of over $13,000.
Whether I lease or buy the new 2023 Jeep Wrangler Sahara 4xE, I can save up to $13,000 or more?
Yeah, and now the only decision is which one you want, because we have a great selection of Wrangler 4xEs with over 50 available.
Find your perfect vehicle now when you search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com.
$13,500 in total net savings after $11,000 factory rebates and $2,500 dealer discount. Rebates include $7,500 federal tax credit, $3,000 carb rebate, and $500 California bonus cash. Must be California resident qualified. 36-month lease term, $49.95 cash due at signing, plus tax, license, and accessories on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 25 cents per mile charge of over 10,000 miles per year. $92.50 total net savings after $57.50 factory rebates and $4,000 dealer discount, plus optional $37.50 tax credit may apply for buyers who meet current federal tax standards only. Subject to change. See your CPA for qualifications. For California residents only, 5H net savings. See dealer for details.
Listen to Oakland A's baseball on the weekends all season long right here on Sactown Sports, beginning with the pregame show brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
A guy, JJ, is going through it right now. He's trying to stay away from all A's things, but every break he's telling me about
coming with the info up.
Press releases and how bad Rob Manfred's press conference was. You can't get away from it, can you?
No, I can't, man. It's here. It's on my doorstep, brother. Matter of fact, it's not on my doorstep. It is knocked on. It has knocked on my door, and they are pushing in the door. I'm gonna have to go, put the chair behind the doorknob at this point.
What
brother.
was the year that they officially broke your fandom, where you were kind of like checking out on the franchise?
Probably about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
You lasted longer than a lot of people.
Yeah, about 2 years ago. Last year, 2 years ago, I still had season tickets. Last year, I just couldn't do it. This year, I mean, look, we could go out and have a better team than they have. Simone, you can pitch.
They've been hot lately.
Means nothing.
They won 7 in a row. They still had the worst record in baseball.
Means absolutely nothing.
By the way, we've been talking about Zion. We've got a couple of other stars to talk about here, especially one that went on a pod and was just totally out of pocket. But, Zion, it seems like Zion might be on his way out of New Orleans if the Pelicans can get what they want and get him out of there. We had people earlier in the week, reporters, insiders, Shams, and others talking about how the Pelicans want to move up to 3 to draft Scoot if he falls to Portland at 3. Mark Stein said that he spoke to somebody in the know and Zion could be available. Rafael Barlow came out and said Houston at 4 is looking to make a deal with that pick and Zion could be the guy. Howard Beck on Twitter.
Love Howard.
He tweeted out a little while ago that apparently when you look at the coaching staff of one New Orleans, Teresa Weatherspoon was on that coaching staff. And
legend
Christian Clark reported today at NOLA News that Weatherspoon was leaving the organization, parting ways. And Howard Beck pointed out that Weatherspoon had a very close bond with Zion and was a key confidant during his long rehab. So if you're going to Brian Windhorst connect the dots with the index fingers, you could say this is the latest clue pointing towards New Orleans saying, bye-bye. See you later. We're not doing this anymore. We've had enough of you. We'll see if that is indeed what happens. All right, so Karl Anthony Towns, he went on the Pat Bev pod. And boy, did he say a lot, JJ. He said a lot on this appearance. First, we were talking about earlier in the week. I don't remember who it was. Was it Eric Pincus? I don't know. Somebody reported that Cat could be traded relatively soon. So here was Cat and Pat Bev going back and forth on those trade rumors.
Team is solid. I mean, we looked good last year. I think everyone agrees. And then, future-wise, I see everyone's trying to sell my house but me.
Hey, Cat,
So,
I was just about to say that, man. Hey, man, what's with the people that you talking about? Listen.
all I'm going to say on it, the rumors are as true or as false as Minnesota makes them to be.
So this is certainly not putting out the fire, right? Because he's putting it on the team and say, hey, look, don't ask me, ask the team. These rumors are legitimate if the team says they're legitimate, which the team's not going to come out and say that.
Never.
Legitimate. You're not going to hear anybody from the coaching staff or front office say, oh, yeah, we're trying to get rid of Cat. We're trying to get rid of this guy.
But they could leak it to the media, maybe.
Maybe. But that's not what Cat's saying. Cat's saying if it comes from them, which is not a leak, it's you heard it from the team, which you're not going to hear it directly from the team. I'm sure they already leaked stuff. That's what teams do, and players do it too. So it's also a kind of an indication that Cat's not really fighting to stay in Minnesota. I know he talks well about it. So, whoa, we played well. Team looks good. But he's not fighting to stay. He's not saying, I don't want to leave. This better not be true. I don't want to hear my name in rumors. He's like, ask the team. So he's not really fighting back on this. I want to ask you, is he virtually untradeable to you, JJ, right now?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I think so.
If you asked me 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh,
different.
Give him a
You
shot.
want to talk
give him a
about
chance.
people making a lot of money.
Different.
Next year, $50 million. Year after that, 54,
Oh, my
58. Player option for $62 million in 2028.
Oh, my God. That's why he doesn't care.
Right.
That's why he could just say, ask the team. I don't care. I'm going to make $200 million the next few years.
He is he's the opposite. And we're talking about Zion. Zion to me still has a little bit intrigue for me, where for the right price, I'll take a shot.
I'm intrigued by Zion.
Yes.
I'm just scared to hell.
Truth.
By him as well.
Cat, I wouldn't take him on the Kings.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take him if I was a ball club and I was looking, the Miamis, the Portlands. Sounds like, Houston's going to be in the market for a few things. Who knows what San Antonio's looking at this moment. OKC's got 1 million picks. You never know what's going on that way. But teams that are kind of looking for, we talked about a star, superstar, borderline top 30 guy. A lot of people consider Cat still borderline top 30. For what he's going to make, as you heard Kyle just talk about, and I don't know if, for good reason, let me say this. Cat in the pandemic had a horrific pandemic when it comes to personal life.
Yes.
I mean, this
Brutal.
brother, he is standing tall in some things when it comes to his personal life that would have broke a lot of other people. And so, I got to commend him on that. But as far as basketball wise, on the court wise, he doesn't really touch me and I know he's got the star numbers, something about him has never touched me as being, I can win a championship.
He's got this level of immaturity on the floor. And
okay.
Like he seemingly always gets wrapped up into the officiating. He's very emotional on the floor at times.
True.
To the point where it's a detriment to him and his team. He also he commits these stupid fouls. I don't know. He's so talented. And obviously he believes he's very talented because listen to what else he had to say as far as his impact on the game, JJ.
I mean, I just feel like, I'm going to put it like this. I feel like when my time's up and I retire and I put the shoes up and I say, you know what, Pat, me, the kids and the wife, we're going to head out to the sunset and enjoy life. I feel like there's going to be people who are going to say, that I changed the game. And I'm going to be very appreciative of that.
That's good.
Everything's up for stipulation. And you know what I like to say is that no matter when this is all over, that there's going to be kids coming up saying that they're going to be able to play a different way because I played in NBA and did it a different way.
Pat Bev says gangster. That's delusional.
That's right.
Delusional.
We should be checking that home for what you have. If there's anything going on in that home,
nobody's going to be talking about you,
Zero.
Kat, when you leave the game about how you changed the game.
No, you've been
nobody.
He's been in the league long enough that we would be talking about that. And right now, there's 20 other people who are overshadowing his play when it comes to changing the game. Jokic and Zion and Steph Curry and KD and so on and so forth, man. Look, good ball player. Again, I commend him for going through so much that he did through the pandemic personally. But as far as basketball, man, just for me.
That's out of pocket.
Yeah, that dude.
Let's jump.
Get your money, brother.
Let's jump quickly to Dame Dollar. So there's been some back and forth about Dame within the media. Is he going to get traded? Is he going to stay? Is Portland trying to trade that third pick and keep Dame? Here was Brian Windhorst on First Take.
Will Damian Lillard be wearing a different jersey next season?
Not at the start of the season, I don't believe. As of right now, you said that they publicly haven't made it sound like they're going to trade him. Well, I can tell you that privately, the Blazers aren't interested in trading him right now either. And I have to underline right now because we are in a fluid situation.
A lot of disclaimers there. I don't believe right now. Things can kind of still happen. But are you already tired of this Dame Dollar stuff? Enough's enough?
Yeah, free Dame.
We've been doing this for a long time, haven't we?
Free Dame at this point.
We've been doing this for too long.
And you know what? Free Portland at this point. Like, Dame should have been a Sacramento King anyway. But
free Chauncey Billups.
Something got to give. Like you said, feel like this has been going on for a decade now, Nick.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere because I don't think. I don't know. I just think Portland's too loyal and too married to him, and he's also married to them. I don't see it happening.
Just retire a Trailblazer and go down as the best Trailblazer to ever play.
Put a statue outside the
Nothing
stadium.
wrong with that.
All right, thanks to Simone. Thanks to Kyle as well. I'm out. I'll be back last week of June. I'm out next week as well. So
enjoy Tahoe, brother.
Thank you. Everybody be safe, be healthy, be well. JJ, thank you, my man. I'll see you soon. The show, though, in some kind of semblance. Ramie's out on Tuesday, too. So Jason Ross and JJ on Tuesday. But tomorrow, who's in tomorrow?
Whitey, I believe. Whitey Gleason.
Whitey J and me.
All right. So there you have it. That's tomorrow. It's Cattles and Ramie, Sactown Sports. Who we blaming for that headline, Simone?
Simone's not with us. She's hiding under the table here.
It happens to the best of us. It's
not
all
even
good.
lying. She is legit under the table right now.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm working on a bunch of things right now because I'm going on vacation. So I'm not giving my full everything. And I apologize for that.
I was just gonna say JJ didn't have his mic
check.
But don't John Fisher us.
Yeah,
Okay,
come
I
on,
won't.
John Fisher.
Mic check.
I'm back.
Don't do that.
It was Brian Harmon, too, was the name that got her.
I'll
I
say
didn't
it.
know what the hell she was trying to say.
Brian Harmon.
Respect, these girls are smart. Play your part. Play your part.